Good afternoon and welcome to your home stadium. Thank you for watching and welcome to the 13th round of La Liga EA Sports. We are here in Son Moix Stadium. As you can see images there on your screen of the players arriving to the stadium. You can see the players there coming off the team bus. They'll be on the grass very soon to face up to the match today. What a match we have in store today. One of those that is really going to heat up the environment and the atmosphere in the stadium. Something that will be very excited for any kind of fan. No matter the weather, even though today is a very rainy day in Mallorca and it is raining quite a bit at the moment, that it doesn't matter. That does not affect the atmosphere in Son Moix Stadium. We're up against Atlético Madrid today. They are on 23 points so far this season out of these 12 matches that have already been played and only one defeat. Just one defeat so far for Atletico Madrid. Mallorca, 8th in the league so far on 18 points. You can see the players now walking down the corridor into the locker room. 4 defeats for them so far this season. 10 goals in their favour and 9 goals conceded for Mallorca so far this season. This is definitely not anything to be ashamed of. It is a fantastic result so far. So as we were saying, good afternoon and welcome to the match that will be kicking off at 4:15 today, Mallorca Atletico Madrid. Before we get everything underway, I would like to say hello to Johan Stankovic, who is here with us today. We're missing you. So how is everything going and what do you think of the match today? Two teams that you know very well and that you have been in both teams, in fact. Yeah, I've been lucky enough to play here in Mallorca, but also in Atletico Madrid. One of the best teams in Spain and in Europe. Two of my ex teams, but of course I'm full Mallorca now, always. It's been 20 years since I played there, but whenever these kind of matches are played, I'm always a Mallorca fan. Well, that is something that the fans are going to be happy with for sure. Well, now the rain has just stopped. I was just turning around there because it was just raining a second ago. And I was asking just now, what do you think? What's the best weather to play with? I like this kind of weather. Perfect, right? No, I don't like the heat. I don't like the dry temperature. I want to see lots of goals. I want to see a good match. And I'm excited to get some points on the board. So, as we said, Yael Arrasate was expecting many goals in the match today. So, let's go pitch side to ask our colleague Damian to see if he thinks there are going to be lots of goals in the match today. So, good afternoon, Damian. So it does seem that it is dry so far, even though I'm still with my umbrella here just in case. However, a couple of minutes ago, it was absolutely pouring down in the stadium. So we can imagine that throughout the course of this pre-match coverage, there will definitely be some intense rain. And as we affront this match today, Real Mallorca versus Atletico Madrid, of course, they are ahead of us on the table. Mallorca 8th on the table so far. When it comes to defence numbers, we've got the two best teams in the league so far. Atletico Madrid being the first team in the league with the least amount of goals conceded, Mallorca with the second team of least amount of goals conceded. So we can expect a fantastic match today. Mallorca trying to get a very impressive victory here in the stadium in front of their home crowd. But of course, we know that that is a very difficult thing to achieve in front of a team like this. So we're just going to try and have a positive result. And Iago Barrasate has gone for the following lineup. We've got Dominic Grave in goal, the Slovakian, who, in fact, this week had a very good piece of news that he is back in his national squad. So in front of him are going to be Pablo Maffeo and Johan Mojica. On the wings, Antonio Raillo and Martin Valiant. Then Manu Morales and Samuel Costa in the midfield. After that, missing a match because of his yellow cards. Then we've got Robert Navarro and Sergi Darder on the wings as well, and two strikers today in the shape of Kyle Larin and Vedat Marishi. So Mallorca have absences at the moment: Asano, Valerie, Tony Lato, and Pichu Cuellar. By the way, today is Takua Asano's birthday, so we would like to offer a birthday message to the Japanese player and also to offer him a message of recovery. Yago Barrasate did say that he would be back in the squad very soon. So 22 people on the squad today. So people that we've got back are Javi Llaveres or Samuel Costa, as we'd already said. So that is the starting lineup that Mallorca are facing Atletico Madrid today. Thank you very much, Damian. So that is the starting lineup for Mallorca today. As Damian was saying, Mojica is in that starting lineup, and I highlight him because in the pre-match coverage, we were saying that we didn't know whether he would be 100% fit to play. We've got Dominic Grave as well, Mike Domenic as well, who today played with the youth team, and they won today, in fact. So did the Honours Division team. They won 2-0 and 1-0 victory for Mallorca B. So let's see if we can make it a hat trick and get another victory for the main team today. So what do you think, Johan? Do you think this is the best bet that we have? Well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate Chiquitivedo for that fantastic victory. And we'll hope that from this match, then, Mallorca have been playing very well. But of course, they are very young people in the youth team. It's difficult to win. And I think that this match now is going to, that victory is going to give them the strength to go through towards and last until Christmas. They've just been doing really, really good. And talking about this team, I mean, it's a fantastic team. That's all I can say. Four great defenders, a fantastic goalkeeper, Valian, Mojica, Maffeo, and Ray. You are obviously just fantastic. Samuel Costa just one step ahead, and then Morlanes too. Samuel Costa, for instance, I think it will always be there. Fantastic. And then the Canarian one, was his name? Yeah, Omar Mascade, I think also always up for doing fantastic performance. They're really fit right now. And then we've got two strikers like Marishi, like Larin, and on the wings as well. I think it's a fantastic squad. I think really, and many teams are going to be very envious of the team that we have. Yeah, a really well-rounded team as well. Arrasate had just been speaking to Damian earlier. We also have Marishi and Kyle Larin, as we were saying, who said earlier that he enjoyed having his partner there as a striker rather than being on their own. So, what do you think of the duo there of strikers? Well, I think they're two of the best strikers in La Liga. And I think that when Mallorca signed Larin, having Marishi already, then from the start, then the goal was for them to be playing together. Now Larin is a lot better than last year. He's in much better physical shape as well. And not only in the goal scoring area, not only in the box. He's really good at defending as well. He's really good at assisting, putting the pressure on as well. I think they're an ideal partnership right now, one of the best in La Liga currently. So that is the starting lineup that Johan Stankovic has just green lighted to Yagoba Arrasate, and you are now going to be able to have your say and decide whether you are impressed and you like this starting lineup as well on our YouTube channel. Let's go and see what Yagoba Arrasate had to say earlier. So hello to you, good day. And you've got, there were a couple of people that were pretty stressed physically to the last match. You've had a bit more time to prepare this one. How is it looking physically now? Well, yeah, we've had a whole week to train, which is really good. We're a bit better in that sense, but I mean, that's what we needed, right? I mean, to be in tip-top shape to go up to against a team like this. From the match today, I expect, the two teams that are going to go out to win. We're conceding a few goals, both teams at the moment. Let's see if we can impose our strength today. So two of the best defending teams in the whole of La Liga. It sounds like a cliche, but today you can see how important it is to be really decisive in the box. Exactly, any opportunities that come their way, you really have to make the most of them. They've just won in Paris as well. They're in a really good moment now defensively. So we've got two pure strikers up top today. So really dynamic striking dynamic. Yeah, I mean the last couple of matches have that's been a good decision, and I think they've done really good performances. So I think that can really put some pressure on the rival. So the words there from Yagoba Arrasate. So the last couple of times that we have seen faced up against Yagoba Arrasate and Cholo Simeone, he has lost only 11 times and won only one. Well, I mean, that's obviously a stat that's quite, that makes it seem pretty dreadful and pretty negative. However, I really expect a lot from this team this year. So, in order to beat Atletico Madrid and scrape any points, we need to know who the lineup is. And Damian is going to just read that out and confirm it for us right now. So it has a couple of changes with regards to the previous Wednesday's victory against Paris Saint-Germain. So we've got Jan Oblak in goal. In defence, we've got Lenglet and Jimenez as your central defenders. Mandava and Molina on the wings in defence. Koke and Barrios in the middle of the midfield. On the wings there, we've got Giuliano Simeone and Roro Riquelme on the wings there. And the duo of strikers today, Julian Alvarez and Griezmann. Griezmann, who is the top assist for Atletico Madrid up until now, and Julian Alvarez, who of course is the top goal scorer for the team so far with 6 under his belt. We just heard from Yago Arrasate that he expects a wide open match today and expects two really strong and really good, well defending teams. And this is a pretty recognizable starting lineup. So thank you very much, Damian. That is Cholo Simeone's starting lineup. So pretty recognizable, right? Yeah, I mean, it's amazing right now to have his son there playing on the squad. I mean, when he scored the other day, you could tell how eager that boy is to make his mark. I mean, you can imagine if your father is on the bench. Of course, a lot of people are thinking that he's a kind of nepo baby situation, but he's like definitely proving that he deserves to be on the first team. Cholo, of course, I mean, he has no problems. Whoever he puts on his squad, he knows that he's going to be fantastic. Yeah, he's got a really well-rounded squad right now. And of course, we've got Dominic Grave with Slovakian team 3 years later. And on the other side, we've got Jan Oblak, who of course needs no introduction. So it's going to be a real duel of goalkeepers today and a duel of height as well. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really to say about Oblak. He is, without a doubt, one of the best goalkeepers in the world. So those are your two lineups in the 13th round of La Liga. Today you can see Leo Man coming in there, who was the goalkeeper in the last match against Alaves, which of course ended in defeat 1-0. However, we are definitely um, Atletico Madrid, of course, are coming to this match with some very good feelings. They just beat Paris Saint-Germain and they also won their last La Liga match against Las Palmas. So there is so much more to come in this pre-match coverage. But of course, we also want to remind everybody that we also have all our feelings and all our hearts go out to the victims of the Dana catastrophe in Valencia. You can see how everybody is really getting involved with the cause and helping. We've got some beautiful images out from club members as well as some players helping out this week. Yeah, I think the whole country has got involved with the humanitarian aid for Valencia and its people, as well as other places on the mainland, Spain, affected by the Dana. Last Tuesday in Somor Stadium, we organized a collection of different products that were all going to be sent towards Valencia from 8 till 8. It was a 12-hour event where people could come over to the stadium and leave their help, any kind of aid, of course. And from 1 till 4 today as well in the Mallorca Sports Bar car park. There's also been an area made available for everybody to keep helping the Valencian people if they want by just doing whatever they can by giving some more products that will be sent over to Valencia. So we're gonna take a look at those images now from last Tuesday, which was a very emotional and very important day to see how everybody in Mallorca got involved and everybody, all Mallorca members got involved as well. Let's have a look. So there we go. Goosebumps watching people helping people, especially when it comes to our Valencian neighbours. Yeah, I think that's obviously a really important gesture from the Mallorca club. And having the statements there of some of the players as well, seeing that they were there to help, and also lots of veterans there, Juan Doblas, lots of other people. I really wanted to go, but I've been quite ill the last week. But whenever anything happens, when about 10 years ago as well, when there was another natural disaster, people always get involved. People will find generosity even in the humble lifestyles they lead already. There was a train station disaster as well at one point, and there were a couple of weeks that were quite tough. But I mean, you've just always got to keep moving forward and always be very grateful for everything we have. But we've always just got to keep fighting and never forget. And I think the day when that happened, the matches shouldn't have been played because there were so many players like Maffeo, Lato, for example, that I don't think they were pretty very prepared to play and ready to play after all that horrible news. Exactly, it was a horrible day, especially for us to go in front of the cameras as well. Well, thank you for your words there, Johan Stankovic, and thank you to everybody who helped in any way they could for the cause. We're going to go to a really quick break, and then when we get back, we're going to be ready to start the match. Don't go anywhere. So, hunger by both sides for those 3 points today. Today being the last, of course, obviously the last match against Alaves, against Luis Garcia Plaza, our old coach, which ended, of course, as we know, in a defeat. Let's take a look at some of the images from that match. You were able to watch the last match. What did you think of it? Well, very similar to the match against Espanyol. You know, after that 5 or 6 victories, obviously they needed to. I don't think we really knew how to equalize the match in intensity. So why didn't we get any points? I mean, I think it was a very tough match. We definitely had our opportunities, but maybe not the luck. Sometimes, of course, those are the most difficult rivals. Well, Mallorca has, a much better squad right now than Espanyol or Alaves. But however, if you're up against a team like Atletico Madrid, if you're not fully switched on and if you're not in the best shape, you're not going to win the match. But I think both teams will be very hungry for those points right now. So you just saw a great save there from Leo Roman on your screens. So obviously we're very, very lucky right now to be able to switch goalkeepers every match, right? And there goes the goal there by Guridi. It was a kind of stroke of luck as well because it just fell to him that rebound there right when the ball was, away from the Alaves control, really. And it just happened to fall to Guridi and it was just a stroke of luck, as we say. So right when Alaves scored, so unfortunately, yeah, really bad luck for us. Luck was not on our side that day, and I don't think we deserved to lose the match really. Well, Yaroba, obviously, because of Valerie's injury, he had to change the dynamics of the game. Well, first of all, what I was surprised by was the fact that Chiquinho was on the field. He's not usually a starter. I don't think he's been a starter at all this season so far. And I think he might have struggled. And maybe Mallorca needed just that touch of something else. So let's see if Mallorca can solve that today and that they have fixed that riddle. So up against rivals like Barca or Real Madrid, you do need to be in your best version or close to that best version anyway. And to get to your best version, you have to talk about individual players and see what their strengths and weaknesses are. So that is Damian's job as usual. He is field side, and tell us what you found. Yes, of course, all players are very important, and we have chosen two to highlight for the match today. They're two starters. That is Pablo Maffeo and Manu Morlanes. Let's start with Pablo Maffeo first. He has won 44 battles so far. That stat there is a pretty impressive one for the defender. He is making quite a name for himself on Mallorca's defence wing. So 14 successful dribbles as well, which is a pretty impressive number too, especially for Mallorca, who are the most central team in LaLiga so far, especially considering the amount of teams that are in the league and the quality of those teams. There's a 40% success rate in there, so that's a pretty impressive number too. And he is the fifth player with the highest number of self-impact defense in La Liga. So those are some pretty impressive numbers there. We're also talking about Manu Morlanes, as we said, whose involvement has been in 11 matches so far. He's been a starter in 7. This is his 8th. 70% success rate in his passes. He's the second highest scorer in that in that stat. Sorry, after Omar Mascari. 170 successful passes forward so far in La Liga. After impressing Yago Barrasat in the last couple of matches, he's now made a name for himself in that position on the field. So he is definitely a trustworthy candidate when they are looking for attacking positions for Real Mallorca. And he is also the third top player on the team with the largest amount of recoveries, totaling at 40. So those are players that will no doubt be important in the match today. And hopefully today we will be able to get a successful result out of there. Paulo Maffeo, by the way, also won the Alua prize to the best player of the month. Antonio Raello and Vedat Marishi have been previous winners of that prize, who have also played almost everything so far this season. But this month's prize was taken by Pablo Maffeo, who we were talking to this week. So let's see what he had to say as he was talking about this prize and how the team is going this season and this particular match. So the words there from Pablo Maffeo. Johan, two great players there, Manu Morlanes and Pablo Maffeo, making a name for himself in Yagoba Arrasate's starting 11. And Pablo Maffeo there, who since he came back from his injury is at a fantastic level, which is not surprising at all. Yeah, Morlanes did a fantastic season last year. He struggled at the beginning of this year, but the last couple of matches he was at a fantastic level. And then what can we say about Maffeo? I think he's one of the best wingers in La Liga. A question for you. Real Madrid is the right winger right now. Do you think he could play in Real Madrid? I think he could, yeah. I think he's a world-class player. Yeah, and much better than the right-hand winger, the right foot winger from Barcelona. I think we should really enjoy him this season. But we're going to have a look at his contract because I think we're in a bit of danger. So Julian Alvarez is today a starter and currently top goal scorer on the field. So Julian Alvarez and Sorloth, of course, are the top goal scorers. Griezmann is the top assister. So for us, top goal scorer Valerie Marici and Danny Rodriguez. Top assist Danny Rodriguez on 3, and Larin as well with 2. So those are the stats. And just talking about numbers there, a really good comparison is that of the players on the field today as starters, the ones that are the top recoverers, it's Coque for Atletico Madrid with 62, and for Mallorca it is Mojica with 59. So that's really, really close numbers there. I do think that there are going to be a lot of gaps today. They're going to have to watch, and it's going to be very difficult to stop them. Well, all of that will be decided very, very soon, just quarter of an hour now until kickoff. So let's hear Daniel Luna talk about his debut in La Liga against Alaves and see what he had to say. Well, lots of feelings going through my head, like the other day, of course. You've got adrenaline obviously coursing through your veins, so much excitement, but I was calm and I wanted to give as much as I could to the team. And yeah, I've been visualizing it. I knew it was going to come. I felt pretty calm. I knew that what I had to do was go onto the field, and that's what I tried to do. I think, like all Colombians, I am really resilient. You know, since I arrived here, because of my age in a new country, I've never stopped fighting. I've never stopped working. I've always done everything that was in within my grasp and within my control. And I think that thanks to that, I was able to have the opportunity. You know, this has just begun. It's a long road now. We've got to keep working, and I hope that better things are on their way. So Daniel Luna's words there. So to ask you, how is the debut for a first division player? Can you remember that? What's it like? Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, yeah, you've got this thing, you know, you're in the Spanish league. I was lucky. I mean, yeah, there's young debuts in first division. I debuted in first division at 27 or 28 because, you know, at 25, I was still in second division. I think now football has changed so much where it seems that, like, if you are 20 years old and you have not yet debuted in first division, that it's almost like you're not going to make it anymore. But yeah, that's the way it's going so far. The people are debuting just younger and younger all the time. Yeah, I mean you can't get sold players every day just for the sake of it. I think, you know, right now it's so easy to just get, you know, young youth players, and then they all end up playing in amazing teams like Barcelona or Madrid. I think that definitely the youth team is really demonstrating there the power that they have. We also want to point out another happy moment. which is 1998, seventh round of La Liga. It's Mallorca versus Atletico Madrid. You were a starter. Vicente Ngonga was also a starter. Which one did you score? Do you remember? Was it the first one? No, it was the third one. Paunovic was the first goal. Then Lauren, you scored the third, and Paco Soler scored the fourth. Yeah, I mean, I remember that match. Of course, I remember every match. Every match I played with Mallorca, and I think it was Saki that was the coach back then. I mean, I think it was. Yeah, I mean, I'm working from memory here. Of course, our heads and our hearts are still with Valencia and its people. The way that Mallorca team has just, just gone and involved themselves in the cause is beautiful, and we thank them for it. I think all of this is part of the growth that the club is going through. I think, the youth team is doing really, really well as well. So now it's all about not becoming complacent. In the last couple of matches, we have beaten Atletico Madrid. Do you think it's going to happen again? Well, of course, we always go out to beat the other team. I think it's going to be really, really close, but let's see if with the fans' support we can get those 3 points today. Let's hope that that is the case. So thank you very much for that, Damian. Damian, who will likely get everything ready now and take his position in his commentating area. We're going to go to a really quick break and we'll be back for kickoff. Don't go anywhere.
Pues mira, justo ahora acaba de acabar el himno del Mallorca. Vemos, como dices, una enorme bandera de la Comunidad Valenciana en el centro de la tribuna este y también en el medio campo, una bandera de la comunidad algo más pequeña, portada por 6 niños pequeños de la fundación. Pues este es el homenaje, entre muchos otros, que lleva a cabo el Recro Deportivo Mallorca, que desde que había sucedido la desgracia pues no había jugado en su casa y hoy pues no ha decidido pasar la ocasión para homenajear de esta manera a los afectados por la dana de la Comunidad Valenciana. Recordamos que antes del partido se ha habilitado un sitio en el parking del Mallorca Sports Bar para que la gente pudiese dejar ahí todo material que era destinado, como decimos, a la Comunidad Valenciana para combatir los estragos de la dana. Así que aquí ya todo prácticamente listo, todo prácticamente preparado Exacto. Se va a producir el minuto de silencio por todos los afectados y damnificados por la dana. Pues ahí estáis, como lo oís, aplausos en Somos.
So there we go. Applause all around the stadium after that minute of silence for the victims of the Dana disaster.
Respetadísimo. Toda nuestra fuerza y todos nuestros ánimos, como llevamos diciendo, a todos los afectados y damnificados por la dana. Ya están preparados para que arranque el partido. En el círculo central está Sergi Darder, donde dará inicio el arranque de la jornada 13. Sánchez Martínez repasando con los asistentes, escuchando desde el pinganillo que todo esté en orden, que todo esté preparado. Mirada a la derecha, mirada a la izquierda, Sergi Darder pisando.
So look to the right, look to the left for Sergi Darder just as we begin now. Just so eager to begin.
El árbitro que silba, arranca el partido, arranca aquí en Somos. Y Damián, si te parece, por la gente que se acaba de conectar para ponernos al día, vamos a arrancar con qué 11 titular sale Diego Pablo Simeone.
So let's see how Simeone begins the match.
Doble pivote, Riquelme y Julián Simeone en las bandas, Griezmann y Julián. Ataque. Este es el 11
Just going through those starting lineups there.
Y por parte del conjunto rojo y negro, ¿con qué 11 sale hoy Yago Barrasate? Dominic Grefe en portería, Ray Jovan como pareja de centrales, Mojica y Mafeo. Los laterales, Forlanes y Samu Costa en el doble pivote, Navarro y Sergi Darder en las bandas, Lanin y Murici para marcar los goles. Estos son los dos 11 titulares, el balón que ya está rodando, ha silbado la falta Sánchez Martínez a favor del Atlético de Madrid, que ya lo ha puesto en juego. Es Jiménez, que intentaba combinar hacia Molina, no lo ve claro, hacia Reinildo. Primeros compases de partido, primer minuto para ser exacto. Lenglet.
So first minute of the match now. Lenglet for Atletico Madrid over to Molina.
Abriendo el largo, intentando combinar ahí y lo hace en zona de medios. ¿Recupera quién? El hombre que lo recupera todo es Mojica. Envía hacia atrás para Martín Valgen para Raillo y a volver a empezar. Jovan, hoy, como dijo Yago, hay que estar concentrados al 100% y ser, bueno, y ser directamente hacia la portería, ser precisos a la hora de ir a la portería.
Sí, cuando juegas contra equipos grandes no puedes tener muchos errores porque ellos te castigan, cualquier error te castigan porque tiene muchísima calidad. Por lo que he visto, la verdad que el equipo de Cholo, lo que ha sacado hoy, tiene arriba jugadores muy rápidos, entonces tenemos que tener cuidado con las pérdidas, sobre todo en medio campo, porque cada pérdida se te va a acabar en la portería, porque tienes Riquelme que rápido, Juliano Simeone que cuando el equipo recupera balón corre en espacio, y Álvarez también es muy rápido. Entonces lo que te he dicho, tenemos que tener mucho cuidado con las pérdidas.
Hay que estar muy atentos si el Mallorca quiere sumar hoy de 3 y lo va a hacer. Coque jugando hacia atrás para Jiménez, levantando la cabeza, el largo para Reinildo intentaba combinar para Riquelme, pero no lo ha visto claro, circula hacia atrás, la tiene Molina hacia Coque que la pica el largo para que puedan correr los hombres de arriba.
Pablo Barrios trying to hunt the ball, but Mallorca's defence are back in possession.
La verdad es que toda la mañana llovió y todo el mundo yo creo que tenía miedo, porque como aquí la grada aquella no está cubierta, pues la gente tiene miedo. Pero yo creo que están preparados con el chubasquero, tienen preparados. Vamos a disfrutar de un gran partido. Estoy segurísimo que vamos a ver un muy buen partido.
Hay que disfrutar, como dice, lo vamos a hacer. La tiene ahora mismo Jiménez, abriendo el largo, corriendo como decía Juliano Simeone, Juliano Simeone que intentaba hacer el caño a Mojica, pero estaba atento a Mojica y no se ha
visto como él siempre busca la espalda, nunca viene a buscar el balón. Sí, viene a buscar el balón, pero luego te busca la espalda. El otro día hizo un desmarque muy bueno y metió el gol.
Y sobre todo, el Atlético de Madrid es un equipo que corre y son muy rápidos hacia la portería.
El equipo que ha sacado hoy, sobre todo los tres de arriba, son muy Riquelme muy rápido, Juliano rápido, Álvaro rápido. Hay que tener cuidado, hay que tener cuidado.
La tiene Jiménez, combinando para Molina, la pide Juliano Simeone, no lo ve claro, juega hacia Julián Álvarez, que ha bajado a recibir lejos de la portería. Juliano tocando ahí en la frontal del área, la tiene el conjunto visitante. El balón ahora a la izquierda, la tiene
The
Riquelme.
ball now to the left for Riquelme.
La falta favorable al Atlético de Madrid, una falta escorada a la izquierda. El árbitro Sánchez Martínez estaba muy cerca y la ha terminado silbando. Ya la tiene Antoine Griezmann, que es el encargado de poner todos esos balones.
Yo creo que una falta innecesaria, porque bueno,
That seemed to be a bit of an unnecessary foul there.
yo creo que hay que evitar este tipo de faltas.
And I think we do have to avoid those kind of specifically.
Se va a colgar por la posición de cuerpo y cómo está al lado. Yo creo que va a colgar. Seguro tienen algo, una acción entrenada. Vamos a ver. Pero yo creo que
That seemed a bit of a rehearsed action there.
porque tenemos jugadores muy rápidos, muy
La pone dentro del área, el balón lo
Raillo,
termina sacando.
este tipo de acciones tenemos bien cubiertas porque tenemos Raillo, tenemos Muriqui, tenemos a Larín, tenemos a Samu Costa, 4 o 5 jugadores
Having Marici, having Larin, having Samuel Costa.
muy buenos.
Y es que el Mallorca solo ha encajado 2 goles a balón parado en lo que vamos de
We've only conceded 2 goals like that since the beginning of LaLiga, one from a free kick and one from a corner. But we'll see from the right-hand side now, a corner for Atlético Madrid. Let's see what they can do with it.
Atentos que hay rematadores. Terminan sacando en corto. Siguen el balón, lo vuelven a colgar dentro del área. La termina despejando Vedat Muriqui. ¿Quién se la va a quedar? Al final se va otra vez Muriqui.
That Marici ends up bringing it out.
Se quejaba de un empujón. El árbitro ha terminado silbando la falta de Vedat Muriqui cuando intentaba despejar el balón. Se ha llevado un empujón y el árbitro ha terminado silbando.
Hablando de Muriqui, ¿se acuerdan?
The referee there ends up whistling that action.
Le costó entrar,
pero este año, bueno, año pasado la lesión el tiempo de
mucho más largo,
recuperación
exacto.
pero vino más fuerte que antes. Está jugando muy bien, sobre todo contra Rayo Vallecano. El primer partido después de la lesión es un partidazo.
No, y es que se ha adaptado muy bien todo el equipo a Yago Barrasate, porque hay que pensar, se ha cambiado el equipo, ¿no?
The whole team, we have to say, has adapted very well to Iago Barrasate.
Pero no solo el entrenador, sí, que también es difícil, pero también el sistema, porque llevaban 2 años y medio jugando
The whole system, in fact, they've been playing 2.5 years with 3 central defenders.
centrales a 2 no es fácil, pero mira, tenemos dos
And now to change to 2 is definitely not an easy thing.
yo creo que están capaces de adaptarse a cualquier situación por la calidad que tienen y por la experiencia.
And I think that they are perfectly capable of adapting to any situation because of the quality of their players.
Para que nos entiendan,
Con Mafeo, con Raillo y
Giuliano Simeone there tried to move over to the right-hand side and work some of his magic. It looked like he was one of the last ones to get a touch on the ball there. 8 minutes in, and Giuliano has tried to chase Mojica back twice so far. He nearly beat him there, but I think that is definitely directions from his father there, from the coach.
Primeros compases de partido del Atlético de Madrid. Está teniendo más posesión de balón. Hablando de posesión, los dos equipos. El Mallorca tiene una media en esta liga de un 46% de posesión. El Atlético de Madrid tiene una media de un 51% de posesión. Vamos a ver, porque por ahora en el principio
Atletico Madrid there with an average of 51% possession, which is not particularly high for them, particularly impressive. However, then, of course, on the attack, they do have an impressive stat.
el primero lo ganó por 1-0 ahí en el Civitas Metropolitano con gol, si no me equivoco, de Antoine Griezmann, que entró y revolucionó el partido. Y el partido aquí en Somos también ganó por 0-1. Por la mínima ganó el Atlético de Madrid. Vamos a ver hoy. Atención, la tiene Robert Navarro, que se marcha perfectamente.
Robert Navarro is now in possession, and there is a foul there and a yellow card that looks like it's going to be for Linglet.
Damián Sánchez Martínez estaba cerca y la ha silbado al momento.
Sí, sí, no ha dudado el árbitro murciano en sacarle la primera tarjeta amarilla al central francés, al Lenglet, que barrió a Robert Navarro cuando ya se estaba internando en zona peligrosa el futbolista catalán, como peligrosa es la falta que tiene a favor ahora el Mallorca.
Una falta muy parecida a la que ha tenido el Atlético de Madrid también en campo rival. Vamos a ver, detrás del esférico está Samu Costa, el gladiador que ha vuelto al once titular después de esa tarjeta roja que le sacaron. También está el
So, of course, after that yellow card that saw him sent off in a recent match, let's see what they can do. There's a barrier of 4 players there. Samuel Costa shoots and into Jan Oblak's hands. No problem for the goalkeeper there.
La última victoria del Mallorca frente al Atlético de Madrid, la última victoria fue la temporada 2022-2023 aquí en Somos, que el Mallorca ganó por 1-0. El gol lo marcó Berat Muriqui en el minuto 16. Es la última victoria del Mallorca, porque la temporada pasada los perdió los dos, pero por la mínima. Vamos a ver hoy que Yago Barrasate ya dijo en la rueda de prensa previa que no iba a ser un partido de 0-0.
Yago Barrasate had said that he thought it was going to be a match with many goals. I do think we are going to see several goals. In fact, Riquelme is trying to run away, try and break away with the ball right now. Dominic Gray opens up for his captain there. Maurici now with his back to the ball, pretty far away from the goal. And back to the start for Jan Oblak. In fact, it's going to be a corner because the linesman there had seen that was a corner. A linesman on the other side of the field, actually. So from the left-hand side, we've got to be very watchful there.
Vamos a ver, Sergi Darder la pone dentro del área, balón sobrevolando, la termina sacando Antoine Griezmann. Mojica hacia atrás. El balón que le llega a Dominic Gray con la pierna derecha, la pisa, remueve el cuero. Dominic Gray que está prácticamente pegadito al círculo central, ya se vuelve hacia atrás porque ya la tiene Sergi Darder.
Dominic Gray.
Cambiando el juego a la derecha para Robert Navarro. Mirada fija hacia la portería, pero lo tiene complicado. Abriendo para Manu Morlanes. Hacia atrás para Pablo Bafeo. Situado en la línea divisoria. Ahora tiene Sergi Darder en corto para Robert Navarro. Robert Navarro la vuelve a jugar para Samu Costa. Samu Costa girando y basculando el juego hacia la izquierda, que la tiene Mojica. Pide Larín, recibe Larín. Hacia atrás para Raillo. Todo esto pasando en zona de medios.
Raillo passes back to Larin. Struggling now to get back. And it goes back into Atletico Madrid's possession.
Combinado para Reinildo. Reinildo que tiene terreno de juego para correr hacia adelante. No lo ve claro para Lenglet. Lenglet avanzando a poco. Intentaba por la derecha. Al final lo va a intentar por la derecha. Combinando para Jiménez. La presión del Mallorca. Presión alta.
Lenglet now over, and there's a lot of pressure from Robert Navarro from Mallorca. Searching for Riquelme. He's not going to reach it though. Really watchful of Riquelme with some long balls there.
Combinando el largo entre líneas para Antoine Griezmann. Griezmann también lo hace para Riquelme. Riquelme desde la línea de fondo. La presión de Pablo Bafeo. Riquelme intentaba un autopase, pero Pablo Bafeo ha estado más rápido. Morlanes combinando para Robert Navarro. El largo Robert Navarro. A ver si la puede cazar ahí. Kai Larin. Larin que la toca con la cabeza.
Kai Larin now goes in with a header. Lenglet really watchful of Kai Larin, and Jimenez recovers.
Riquelme para Reinildo. Reinildo hacia atrás para Lenglet. Todo esto pasando en zona defensiva. La presión asfixiante del Mallorca. También, atención, Sergi Darder que puede recuperar.
Sergi Darder now who could recover.
El Atlético de Madrid que saca rápidamente. La tiene ahora mismo el conjunto de Cholo Simeone que quiere correr. Giuliano Simeone. Desde la derecha.
Giuliano Simeone now trying to race down the field. Griezmann over to Julian Alvarez. They end up losing the ball now.
Y de repente aparezca.
Bueno, sí, es el máximo asistente del Atlético de Madrid.
Pero ahora le ves, no aparece y de repente un pase o te mete un gol. Porque hay que tener siempre cuidado con él.
Sí, al final, tanto Griezmann, Julián Álvarez, bueno, estos equipos, ¿no?, que tienen este talento individual tan grande, pues un destello de talento pues te puede cambiar el partido. Hay que estar
yo me acuerdo cuando jugamos siempre los mejores partidos jugamos en Bernabéu o Camp Nou y hicimos unos partidos.
I think the best kind of matches when we've played them in Bernabeu. Yes, sometimes we have been able to win the match.
Y tú dominas partido, pero vas perdiendo 3-0. Esto te quiero decir
Sometimes, you're 3-0 down, and what does that mean?
es que tienes
That they are really high quality players,
90 minutos.
Como dijo Yago,
and you have to be focused for the full 90 minutes.
acercarte. Y el Mallorca esta temporada, en estas 13 jornadas que llevamos, está dando un nivel espectacular en la Liga. Lo está demostrando partido a partido. Hoy aquí en esta jornada 13, frente al Atlético de Madrid, lo quiere intentar por la derecha, Pablo Maffeo.
Atletico Madrid now trying, but Pablo Maffeo says no more and stops Riquelme in his tracks there, but he does complain about a blow to the ribs.
Hemos tenido la posición y no era momento para dar este pase largo, pero no era momento. Entonces hay que tener cuidado. Mira, por ejemplo, hay que tener la paciencia. Mira, Atlético de Madrid está tocando y está esperando momentos, está esperando huecos, entonces mete balón. Nosotros, por ejemplo, en esta jugada, a lo mejor Samu Costa no tenía que dar un balón largo, tenía que aguantar y esperar momentos.
El balón del Atlético de Madrid intentando buscar el largo, termina saliendo. Será el saque de banda para el conjunto rojo y negro. Saca rápidamente Pablo Maffeo para Robert Navarro. El balón
Pablo Maffeo over to Robert Navarro now, putting the ball back in play.
saque de banda para el Mallorca. Con calma y tranquilidad.
And it's back to the start for Mallorca. Pablo Maffeo now with pressure from everybody on Atletico Madrid.
Pidiendo a sus hombres intensidad. El Cholo también es un entrenador que vive el partido en todo momento como si lo estuviera jugando.
Yo no sé cómo no le pegó un infarto.
Sí, exacto, es que
Lleva, yo creo que su décimo segunda temporada siempre lo ves así.
sí, no ha cambiado. Es algo que también comentó Yagoba en la rueda de prensa antes de este partido, que es increíble de admirar cómo el Cholo no ha perdido el hambre temporada tras temporada.
Something that is interesting to see is how Cholo has definitely not lost that hunger and that eagerness to win and to provoke.
Y entre jugador y entrenador, yo creo que lleva más de media vida.
Ya como
Yo tuve la
si no
suerte,
es la marca de la casa.
de estar con él una pretemporada, porque yo me fui, volví a Mallorca y él vino por segunda vez aquí.
Perdona Morlanes que la pone dirigida a la casa. Atención, Samu Costa en la frontal del área.
Morlanes now back on the chase. Larin there, who intercepts the ball, but in the end, it's cleared by Atletico Madrid's defense. It didn't look like it was offside to me, but the linesman certainly called it. Well, it did seem that it was offside there from Kai Larin in the end. I mean, obviously, football has changed a lot since I was playing, says Johan Stankovic, but still, I'm not a fan of these kind of moves. But quick, we've got the paramedics for Atletico Madrid on the field because there's a player currently on the ground. Reinildo and Robert Navarro there trailing and tracing the ball. What a difference, of course, between Cholo and Arrasate. Yeah, Arrasate definitely has certain moments where he really lives it very intensively. Kyle Larin there, he's going to have his corner now.
Comentando y cerrando este tema que no tiene voz. Llega a la rueda de prensa sin voz. No me extraña, ¿eh? Sí, sí. No sé cómo puede recuperar la voz tan rápido, porque con esos chillos que pega, además son 90 minutos.
But Cholo Simeone is on his feet and yells non-stop for those 90 minutes. We don't quite know how he does it. Samuel Costa there facing out to Antoine Griezmann. And we can't quite grasp there what the referee was thinking.
No me parecía, ¿no? Yo creo que estaba siendo una lucha bastante limpia.
A lo mejor pitado la mano, que tampoco era.
Era disputa, ¿no? Tampoco no era.
Pero mira, yo creo que pitado la mano, que no era mano.
A todo esto, el árbitro que ya ha rectificado, atención, el Mallorca que recupera rápidamente. Sergi Darder intentaba poner entre líneas para Robert Navarro. Recupera quien al final lo hace Samu Costa. Que, bueno, de Rabona la quería poner para su compañero Mojica. El Mallorca que ya la tiene bajo sus pies. Mojica para Manu Morlanes. Morlanes para Martin Vallen.
Mojica over to Morlanes, over to Pablo Maffeo. I think at the moment we're definitely passing through more balls and more passes than we were at the beginning of the match.
Y defiende con todo, ¿eh? El Atlético de Madrid cuando el balón está abajo. Julián Álvarez ahí pegadito dentro del área. También Antoine Griezmann. Todos dentro del área. El balón largo de Pablo Maffeo. Julián Álvarez la toca con la cabeza, la despeja. Raillo la recupera en zona de medios. Solito Raillo que la pone hacia atrás para Dominic Grave. Grave que tiene tiempo para pensar, para poder procesar lo que va a hacer. Al final la juega en corto para Antonio Raillo, Manu Morales que ya recibe todo esto pasando en zona defensiva. Cambiando el juego hacia la derecha, que ya ha cruzado la línea divisoria. Está Samu Costa levantando el periscopio. No lo ve claro hacia arriba. Juega hacia la izquierda, que recibe Sergi Darder. Ya poniendo para Mojica, 3/4 de campo. Mojica que la pone dentro del área.
Mojica halfway down the field now puts it inside the box. But Atletico Madrid manages to clear it and hit it back out. Over to Morlanes, now back over to Pablo Maffeo, over to Martin Valiant. All of this happening in defence. Over to Antonio Raillo now, halfway down the field.
Ser peligrosa, tranquilo y se abrirá hueco. Hay que ir a un lado a otro lado y esperar hueco.
Pablo Maffeo para Robert Navarro, jugando en 3/4 de campo. Maffeo retrasando el cuero para Martin Valken en zona de medios. El Mallorca que se gusta, el Mallorca con una de las posiciones largas, la más larga del partido. Ha sido decir esto y se termina perdiendo. Atención, ahora
lo que hay que menos mal.
Ha terminado parando el juego, era Pablo Barrios que la juega para el inglés. Coque en zona defensiva, Coque abriendo a la derecha para Juliano. Ahora es quien recibe, Juliano hacia atrás para Molina combinando para el Atlético de Madrid, atacando Julián Álvarez que la pone entre líneas para Antoine Griezmann.
Julian Alvarez over to Antoine Griezmann.
Había cogido la directa, había puesto la quinta, era Antoine Griezmann, pero
Dominic Grave ends up saving there and going to recover the ball for Mallorca.
peligrosa, pero los centrales, nuestros centrales saben arreglar este tipo de problemas. Lo han hecho, es una acción muy peligrosa.
Lo ha hecho perfectamente. Vuelve a tocar el balón el hombre del que hablábamos ahora mismo. La presión alta.
And now the ball is in for possession for Julian Alvarez.
Dominic Grave. Termina nada.
Long ball from Dominic Grave.
Buscando a Pablo Barrios. El balón que termina saliendo.
Looking for Pablo Barrios. The ball ends up going out. Martin Valiant over to his teammate Raillo, of course. Short ball over to Sociedad there now. Jimenez over to Griezmann now.
Hay que tener cuidado porque el Atlético de Madrid presiona.
Yo creo que cuando di el pase ni vio qué hay detrás, si estaba Álvarez o no. Hay que tener cuidado porque lo que te he comentado, a los grandes equipos cualquier fallo te puede castigar.
Lenglet abriendo para Jiménez, la pide Molina. Al final, Jiménez no lo ve claro, jugando para Coque en el círculo central. Coque levantando el periscopio, jugando para Lenglet. Lenglet en largo para Pablo Barrios. Escorado a la izquierda.
Over to Pablo Barrios now. Over to the left. Coque now.
Molina que no lo ve claro. Molina para Coque. Coque de primeros entre líneas rápidamente para Griezmann. El rechace le cae a Giuliano Simeone. Vuelve a pedir la Coque. Coque para Giuliano Simeone.
Falls to Giuliano Simeone.
Poniendo el balón para Jiménez. Jiménez para Lenglet. Lenglet para Reinildo. Todo esto pasando en zona defensiva. Es ahora mismo Riquelme que la pone para Pablo Barrios. Pablo Barrios de primera para
Over to Pablo Barrios now. Over to Riquelme once again. With his back to the goal now, Molina.
También pegadito está Mojica. Recibe hacia atrás Coque. Coque moviendo el cuero hacia atrás. Recibe Jiménez, el Atlético de Madrid, tocando en zona de medios, buscando un hueco, buscando algún agujero por donde hacer daño, intentando dibujar algún pase largo para poderla cazar algunos de los hombres de arriba. La tiene Julián Álvarez, tiene espacio para el disparo.
Julian Alvarez now, space to shoot. And it ends up going out. The shot there from Julian Alvarez.
En el primer momento que ha encontrado el hueco para poder disparar, se termina marchando fuera. El disparo de Julián Álvarez.
¿Cuánto dinero pagaron por Álvarez? No, digo Manchester City.
Yo creo que bastante, porque venía como un jugador que tenía que ser titular, pero no está encontrando su sitio. Ya te digo, Zorro lleva más goles que él ahora mismo.
So Sorloth, of course, is the top goal scorer for Atletico Madrid so far. In Liga, of course, we're not talking also about European competitions.
Es verdad que Zorro no jugó ningún minuto ante el Paris Saint-Germain, pero bueno, que en Liga, hablando en Liga, por ahora, el que mejores registros y números está teniendo, o eso están diciendo los números, es Zorro. Pero parece que Julián Álvarez es el que hoy el Cholo Simeone ha querido apostar para poner de inicio. No sé, ¿qué crees que puede buscar con ese jugador, Jovan, estando allá arriba?
Bueno, la velocidad. A lo mejor él planteado
I think at the moment with these decisions from Cholo Simeone, I think what he's searching for at the top of the field is speed, no doubt.
que tenga la posición y esperar contraataque. Y como ves, yo creo que la mayoría de la primera parte, pues Atlético pues se echa atrás y espera robar el balón e intentar hacer el daño en contraataque. Y claro, Julián Álvarez es el jugador más rápido. Pero de momento, como tú dices, son las formas los que
A foul now for Mallorca halfway down the field. I think if you compare Samuel Costa to Koke right now, I mean, Koke definitely is a household name.
Ahí está la falta. Piden a Riquelme que se eche más para atrás. Mojica. Parece que iba a ser quien iba a golpear.
But Mojica there, very impressive. Let's see if Murishi has his time to shine soon. Antonio Raello now racing down the field. Atletico Madrid. Molina now. The ball going over Somos Stadium.
Julián Álvarez lo hace perfectamente y la vuelve a tener el Mallorca. Recupera Jiménez. Ahora la tiene Pablo Barrios. Ha habido la falta.
Jimenez recovers the ball now over to Pablo Barros.
Estamos en el 35 y el partido está pasando volando. Está muy pero que muy entretenido. ¿Cómo están pasando los banquillos? Pues el Cholo Simeone, pues un poco hablando lo de antes, no se ha sentado prácticamente en ningún momento. Sí lo ha hecho en alguna que otra ocasión.
So we would say that Cholo Simeone has barely sat down since the beginning of the match.
Con muchísima intensidad y tensión. La tiene Mojica a la izquierda. Mojica combinando para Samu Costa. Pasando todo esto en zona de medios. Raillo con la pierna derecha. Removiendo el cuero. Lo hace hacia la derecha para Martin Valken. Valken jugando el largo para Morlanes. Morlanes de primera para Valken. Valken del largo para Mafeo que no llega. Recupera Vedat Muriqi.
Without Marishi recovering the ball, who plays backwards to Martin Valiant. Iago Barrasate now.
Y ahí está el Cholo Simeone, como hemos comentado, sin parar de gesticular. La tiene ahora Riquelme.
I think at the moment it's all about having patience and not making any rash decisions that would make them lose possession. Lenglet halfway down the field. Reinildo over to Jimenez.
El Atlético de Madrid que no encuentra el rincón por donde hacerle daño al Mallorca que está muy bien situado. Ahora Riquelme dibujando un pase para Pablo Barrios. Recupera Morlanes.
Riquelme over to Pablo Barrios, over to Morlanes, over to Kyle Larin now. Larin under pressure from Riquelme. Nobody seemed to agree with that, but there goes the whistle for the foul.
Quizá ha pitado que en el momento de caer, como entendía que no había falta, al caer le habrá dado con la mano y habrá señalado esas manos. Imagino, por buscarle una explicación.
Porque la falta no lo había hecho.
Jiménez conduciendo, poniendo en largo para Julián Álvarez, que está prácticamente en el círculo central. El balón del Atlético de Madrid en zona defensiva. La tiene Reinildo, dibujando un pase, cambiando el juego totalmente a la derecha, como si tuviera un mando de videoconsola que lo hace a la perfección para Juliano Simeone, pero Juliano muy bien presionado por Mojica,
Really good pressure from Mojica that allows them to regain possession in defence.
Se va a tomar su tiempo el colombiano. La juega en largo para Vedán Muriqui de primeras para Kyle Larin cruzando la línea divisoria, pegadito a la banda izquierda. Larin para Vedán Muriqui. Muriqui protegiendo el cuero que se lleva la falta, el pisotón y se duele Vedat, Se duele el pirata.
And Vedat Marishi has just had a blow there, and he seems to be in quite a lot of pain after that.
Se quedó el tobillo de atrás. Mira, no es solo pisotón. Se le queda el tobillo de atrás.
Ahí está reincorporándose Vedán Muriqui, que va a quedar en nada. Y lo que vamos a sacar va a ser esta falta en zona de medios. Una falta escoradita a la izquierda que la va a poner Senidarde. Vamos a ver, porque estamos ya en el casi prácticamente en el 40. El balón dentro del área termina paseándose y pide. Parecía que Raillo pedía a mano. Atención que la tiene Riquelme. Riquelme emparejado con Pablo Maffeo.
Riquelme in possession now with Pablo Maffeo. Robert Navarro once again recovers the ball. This time Robert Navarro clearly thought this one is one that I have to keep. And it's over to Mojica. Samuel Costa over to Sergi Darder. Halfway down the field, Pablo Maffeo now. Over to Vedat Marishi now. A really forced rebound from them. Manu Morlanes recovers the ball and passes back. Really good minutes for Mallorca right now. Mallorca definitely eliminated them everywhere right just then. So let's see if in one of those instances they can just reach the box. Robert Navarro now playing backwards. The ball reaches Samuel Costa. Samuel Costa over to Martin Valiant, over to Darder. And there's the rebound from Kyle Larin. Yeah, that ends up saving that with just a touch from his hand right at the end. We were saying that we just hadn't reached Atlético Madrid's goal.
Buen desmarque de Larin, pero también el pase de Darder es espectacular.
Darder que la pone para Maffeo, Maffeo desde el pico del área, se devuelve a Darder, la pone para Robert Navarro.
Over to Robert Navarro once again now. A shot from inside the box. And that is back to the start for Atlético Madrid. Over to Riquelme now inside the goal scoring area, passes backwards. Mallorca end up bringing the ball out, and that's going to be a throw in. Reinildo over to Julian Alvarez, complains of a blow there. Over to Jimenez. over to the right-hand side with Molina, back over to Griezmann, over to Giuliano Simeone. And there's the barrier there. There is the wall over to Mojica once again. And the ball is in no man's land right now. It's Pablo Barrios there recovering the ball over to Julian Alvarez. Griezmann back over to Riquelme. Between the lines now. And there's going to be Dominic Grave. Just give me a couple of seconds there to see who that was that the linesmen were talking about. There's just 30 seconds left anyway, but I don't think they're going to give more than 2 minutes of extra time, really. So just 1 minute of extra time, in fact. So Diego Pablo Simeone there. Yago Arrasate as well, arms folded. Atletico Madrid has tried twice on the left, 3 times on the right-hand side, and 1 in the middle as well. The referee is looking at his watch, saying that he's going to be late. And it looks like he's going to allow 1 more action. This is going to be the last. He was going to go and whistle there. You could see it. And Yago Arrasate is quite annoyed at that. So there we go. There goes they take that free kick and it goes straight out, thankfully. And there goes the whistle for half time. So, Damian, how is everybody looking right now? Well, serious faces all round at the moment. But I would say pretty good feelings at the moment. It was the first half that did not have many chances to score. However, I think Mallorca definitely had more of the strength of this first half. So I think we get the feeling that it wasn't the worst first half we could have had. It was pretty good. So Johan, I think Atletico Madrid had the possession at the beginning of the half. So it wasn't very threatening, was it? And I think that then they got in control and Mallorca got in control of the match, but towards the end of the half. I think Mallorca had more possession towards the end than Atletico Madrid. It was a really good first half, but in order to win this match, we're going to have to do a bit more. I think in order to win a match like this, you're going to have 3 or 4 very clear chances like that. So 52% possession for Mallorca, 48 for Atletico Madrid. 4 shots in total for Mallorca, 1 for Atletico Madrid. 2 on target, 2 off target. And of course, for Atletico Madrid, 1 shot they had and one that was off target and went straight out. So Mallorca at the moment ahead in all kind of stats. However, the score is still 0-0.
lo que hablábamos. El problema que vamos a tener es ahora en segunda parte. Yo creo que a lo mejor no de inicio, pero sí que va a poner a De Paul, va a poner a hay un par de jugadores.
Azpilicueta, Gallagher,
Sí,
Rodrigo De Paul, Torlot, Correa.
es que yo veo que el Atlético de Madrid pues perdió el medio campo allí. Que con lo que te he comentado al principio con Griezmann y con Coque no son tan fuertes. Hablamos de nombre grande, pero ahora no están
En el mejor nivel, por supuesto, por supuesto.
y ahora yo creo que allí
I don't think either team is at their best right now. So hopefully we'll be able to see something more similar to that. That's something that reminds us a little bit of what those teams can do in the second half. Maybe Correa will be coming on for Atletico Madrid. He's a really dangerous player. But what we know is that that was a good first half for Mallorca. I think the first part of the first half was spent kind of calculating what Atletico Madrid were going to do. And towards the end of it, they were definitely the superior side. Well, don't go anywhere. We're going to go to a really quick ad break, but the whole of the second half is ahead. 0-0 so far. See you then.
Le dije a estos, ¿ustedes quieren algo grande? Están en la antesala de él. Te pones en la situación llegando al estadio, viendo a tu familia, todos los aficionados del Mallorca y se te ponen los pelos de punta.
From the first day I came here, everything went wrong.
Él estaba liquidado, física y mentalmente. Liquidado. Y entonces se me ocurrió que merecía jugar y lo puse en la copa.
¿No tienes personalidad suficiente para decirle a este tío que no haga eso?
Y al final tuve que entender, a ver, yo mando, cabrón, cállate ya, cállate ya.
Pues ya estamos aquí de nuevo, otra vez para arrancar la segunda parte, una segunda parte que está todo, absolutamente todo por decidir aquí en Somos en esta jornada 13, cuando en el estadio, ambiente de fiesta, un estadio lleno, una afición que nunca falla hoy aquí, que
So we are back here live, ready for the second half. A stadium here in Somos with a really good turnout.
No sé si habrá el cambio, se habrá cambios. Te pregunto a ti primero, cuando sale el Atlético de Madrid, te pregunto a ti primero, Jovan, ¿harías algún cambio por parte del Mallorca?
No, no, no. Mallorca está
So,
bien.
of course, the question is, would you make any changes for Mallorca? No, Mallorca are doing very well. I don't think they should change anything.
¿Cómo es esta segunda parte? ¿Harías algún cambio tú en las filas del conjunto de Yagoba Arrasate?
So, would you make any changes for Yagoba Arrasate? No, I wouldn't. I thought it was a very good first half for Mallorca. Maybe a bit more clarity in the last couple of meters.
El equipo ha sido superior.
But along general lines, I thought Mallorca were the better side today, so I wouldn't be making any changes.
Viendo los futbolistas y confirmaremos
And I
esta
don't think there are any changes. We'll confirm that in just a minute because the players are now coming onto the field. But I can't see anybody warming up with any particular intensity.
veo que esté ningún jugador nuevo, así que de momento siguen los mismos 22 futbolistas. Pues no hay cambio, tanto Yagoba como Damián, como Stankovic, como yo, todos coincidimos en que el Mallorca la primera
So I think we're all agreeing here that Mallorca's first half was pretty impressive today, and we don't need to see any changes from them.
a la izquierda el Atlético de Madrid, el árbitro revisando que todo esté en orden porque va a dar inicio en esta segunda parte.
So the referee just making sure that everything is in order, just checking that there are no changes from the second half. We can hope from the first half, sorry. We can hope that in this second half we can see some goals being scored. That would be, of course, something to make this match a bit more lively for everybody watching and everybody involved. Atletico Madrid have changed their tactical dynamics, I guess, for this second half because there were only one shot towards goal from Julian Alvarez in the whole of the first half. So an attempt there from Atletico Madrid, which was blocked and cleared by Real Mallorca there.
Siempre cuando está 50-50, pues pinta en favor de Atlético.
Y aquí el asistente no sabía nada.
No, no, ni uno ni otro. Ni uno ni otro.
No había levantado, no había señalado nada. Pues el córner, el primero es el segundo del partido, pero el primero en la segunda parte para el Atlético de Madrid. Antoine Griezmann que coloca el balón desde la izquierda, el pase sobrevolando el balón.
Antoine Griezmann there.
El Mallorca y así como le llegaba a Riquelme la termina reventando y se mete.
Riquelme ends up smashing the ball, but it goes way over Dominic Graves' goal. We can see a couple of Atletico Madrid players warming up right now. We can see Elkin Correa, we can see Witzel. I can see Gallagher as well, I think. Lino. So players of different profiles there. So that's what we were saying. I mean, look at the bench and the squad that Cholo Simeone has. I mean, yeah, Correa, Gallagher, incredible. Dani Alvarez, Chiquinho, and Luna, of course, warming up and also available for Mallorca today. Kyle Larin goes down to the ground. Going over what Atletico Madrid have as well. I think somebody who could come on for Atletico Madrid in the second half and completely revolutionise. They have several players that do that in the second half. But I think when they come on in the second half, he's been doing things like that for years. And he's always such a rebounder. But the ball falls to Larin. This could be the opportunity. That was very, very quick there. Reinildo tried to recover.
17 del Mallorca, le ha caído y Reinildo que ha puesto la velocidad máxima porque si hubiera podido plantar solo delante de la portería.
Reinildo really went into maximum speed mode there.
Año pasado, ¿te acuerdas? El principio de temporada ganó. Pero bueno, por otro lado, Lino es un jugador muy rápido. Si hubiera
At the beginning of the season last year, they did win,
Sí, también te diré que creo que no se lo esperaba, ¿eh?
and he was winning a lot of battles in that sense.
Para Julián Álvarez.
So Barrios there over to Julian Alvarez,
Juliano Simeone y
who is going to keep the ball this time. Sergi Darder. In the end, it's Mallorca, but Vedat Marici there.
saque de banda para el conjunto de Diego Pablo Simeone que pide calma a sus hombres que combinen, la tiene Coque.
Paulo Simeone there asking his players to calm down.
Levantando el periscopio. Coque combinando con Julián Álvarez que viene a
Jorge there playing with Julian Alvarez.
para Molina. Molina la tiene Juliano Simeone. Juliano Simeone emparejado con Mojica. El balón hacia atrás para Jiménez. Recupera la posición. Mojica. La tiene ahora Riquelme.
Riquelme now
Reinildo.
over to Antoine Griezmann. Reinildo once again. Koke back to Koke. Atletico Madrid in a long possession now, but still pretty far away from Dominic Graves' goal, who at the moment is watching the match very calmly because he has not had to save anything particularly threatening yet, touch wood. However, Mojica, the Colombian, but in the end, at the end there, the referee whistled that foul on Samuel Costa as the first players there, Danny Rodriguez, Chiquinho, Antonio Sanchez, and Abdon Pratt start to warm up for Mallorca. So that could be a sign that there are changes to come. And you can also tell that that is why the stands began to applaud there. Martin Valiant in possession now for Mallorca, who really manages to move forward. Sanchez Martinez says to him to calm down there. Martin Valiant over to Manu Morlanes. Samuel Costa there again with the ball moving backwards. It's a bit too short though, Rai. You're there going for the long game. Jan Oblak, one of those goalkeepers who are not afraid to come out to defend their team. Vedat Marici, Antoine Griezmann now opening up to the right-hand side. He tries to do it, and he does. Giuliano Simeone. That goes off at Mallorca's defence, and that's going to be a throw-in for Atletico Madrid. Molina asking for the players to remain calm. Pablo Barrios asking for the ball there. Giuliano Simeone also. Back over to Molina. Loses the ball there, and it goes back to Atletico Madrid. Back to Julian Alvarez. Molina there over to the left-hand side. Reinildo gets a touch on the ball and goes over to Riquelme. Back over to Reinildo. Antoine Griezmann. I think that Cholo Simeone maybe fancied a bit of guesswork there, wanted to speculate slightly. I think maybe we need to do some attacks from the wings because Darder, for example, is not the kind of player that can defend in that sense. But Navarro would be great. He does seem a little bit tired. He did a great move in the first half where he managed to get a free kick from him. But is Robert Navarro now as well, who's in possession, moves away from two players, can't quite move away from the third. And it's going to be a throw-in. Manu Morlanes recovered the ball now and attacks down the middle, opens up to Sergi Darder. Sergi Darder now, who turns around inside the box. Kyle Larin, can he reach? No, Riquelme was faster. Passes back to Antoine Griezmann. All of this happening in defence. All of this opening up to Giuliano Simeone, over to Alvarez now. Alvarez pressured by Sergi Darder. Passes back to Koke, opening up to Molina. Koke going for the long ball against Molina, back over to Koke. Ends up losing the ball and goes over to Grafe now, who ends up sending it really far away, and out it goes, meaning that it's possession for Atletico. So, beginning of this second half, it seems that Atletico Madrid are pretty switched on so far. So let's see how this goes. Maybe Mallorca need some fresh pairs of legs. So the change of Pablo Barrios over to the right-hand side. Molina there. Antoine Griezmann tried to chase that ball, but it falls to Simeone. Over to Koke now. Back over to Molina. And the ball there went right up to Damian there, our commentator, who is field side. Yeah, and as Damian said, he's never felt so much pressure in his entire life. And the ball goes over to Vedat Marici there. There's no offside. Maffeo over to Robert Navarro. Atletico's defense was already there, so that was disallowed a move there because of being offside. And there we go. Head raises over to Antoine Griezmann. Griezmann playing with Riquelme now, who falls back. Manu Morlanes recovers the ball. Samuel Costa now in the centre of the field, playing the long game over to Sergi Darder. Playing over to the left-hand side with Mojica. Back to Sergi Darder now. Asking for some calm and tranquility now. Marici and Valiant once again. The Colombian samba there from Mojica, back over to Larin and Marici. And that has to be a card. That's got to be a yellow card there. Yago Barrasate raising his hands in a gesture to the referee as if to say that's the second time that this has happened. However, if Samuel Costa protests too much, he should be very difficult. He's very careful because he already has 4 yellow cards. If he's got another yellow card, that means he will miss the next match. And watching that back, that definitely looks like it should be a yellow card for me for Linglet, because he definitely grabs him. But look at Larin's strength there. And I have to say, it's been quite a while since we've seen a goal scored from a free kick here in Son Moix. Not this year, but not last season either.
Barrera de 4 jugadores del conjunto de Diego Pablo Simeone, que ha salido de su zona técnica. Prácticamente
Diego Pablo Simeone
parece que sigue
moving away from his
en la barrera.
place there, almost close to his box. He's really pushing his limits there. Over to Stoti there now.
Muy raso y muy flojo para Jan Oblak. La intención era buena, pero muy
Back to Jan Oblak. Really good intentions, but that was way too soft.
Si quieres tirar en el palo de portero, pues tienes que tener más, tienes que coger más carreras. Yo pensaba que como se posicionaba, yo pensaba que va a chutar por encima de
la barrera. Atención, el balón entre líneas de Antoine Griezmann buscando
The ball between lines now from Antoine Griezmann. Back to Giuliano Simeone, who could not quite find the ball, and that's for Kyle Larin now, who is giving us everything in this second half. He's definitely been freed and feels liberated.
Robert Navarro emparejado con Riquelme. Robert Navarro que le gana la partida. Sigue Robert Navarro que se tira otro autopase. Llega Robert Navarro.
Robert Navarro now going for a self pass over to Robert Navarro.
más feo. Yo creo que es más feo. La carrera de los grises es más feo.
Es más feo,
And it looks like there was a foul action there, but it looks like it was Pablo Maffeo. And in fact, he's taken quite a blow from it as well. 4 changes ready for Atlético Madrid.
El córner desde la derecha que la pone dentro del área. El remate de Muriqui flojo. Templadito a las manos de Jan Oblak. Damián, te pregunto, ¿se preparan ya 4 cambios? 4. Cuidado cara. Se la queda Giuliano Simeone.
Juliano Simeone remains with the ball. He's inside the box. Passes to Julian Alvarez and they score. This is exactly what we were saying. Giuliano Simeone keeps finding the gaps. So the goal there for Atlético Madrid. Giuliano Simeone did a really good job there to hold off Pablo Maffeo's pressure. Simeone there taking the pressure off in Son Mosh for his team, for Atlético Madrid.
Lástima porque estaba muy bien, ¿eh? Bueno, y se preparan cambios. Sigue el partido, aún hay tiempo para más.
And the match is still underway, of course. There's plenty of time to come back from that. However, still a long way to go. So there are some changes happening, Damian. Who are they? Yes, I mean, Simeone's strategy worked out because he was just about to bring off the goal scorer and the goal assister, because Giuliano and Julian are now off. Correa and Sorlot are on. Lenglet is off because to avoid a second yellow card, and Witzel is now on in his place. So Rodrigo de Paul, Sorlot, Correa and Witzel, and Griezmann, Julian Alvarez, Giuliano Simeone and Lenglet are now off.
Amarilla para
over to Sergi Darder now, over to Mojica on the left-hand side. Still so much of the match to go. Mojica over to Sergi Darder, back over to Raillo. Everything happening halfway down the field. Back over to Samuel Costa. Samuel Costa back to Mojica now, over to Kyle Larin. Back over to Sorloth. Rodrigo de Paul now. Passes back to Riquelme. Inside the goal scoring area. Dominic Graves saves. And what a fantastic save from Dominic Graves there. It was a 1-on-1 against Riquelme. Robin Navarro over to Mojica now. He can prepare that central shot. Back over to Pablo Barrios. Mallorca was in possession there. But there is a lot of space behind. So Chiquinho and Abdon Prats look like they are going to come on for Mallorca, but let's have a look at Sorloth now. He's passing over to Goke and but Robert Navarro and Samuel Costa were there to save that and defend. Changes the play over to the right-hand side. Pablo Maffeo now passes over to Valiant, and Raillo passes the halfway line over to Noel Navarro. Back over to Mojica, stuck to the wings now. Obviously, all of Atletico Madrid now folded back, trying to save and defend. Back over to Samuel Costa. Samuel Costa trying to find somebody there. From right to left, and it is Valiant now. And that is a corner as the changes start happening. So yes, Mallorca are going to have their corner first before those changes. Sergi there takes it. Another corner now. Robin Navarro and Morlanes. Is it to me, to you? Forces Sergi there now. We've seen many grabbing actions inside the box this year, and I feel like they never get pointed out. They never get whistled. So there was definitely a push there, but that was not whistled at all. But Damian, we've seen those two changes now, and you are going to tell us what has happened. Shed some light on it. So Kyle Larin is off, and Chiquinho and Abdon Prats are on. Well, I think that Kyle Larin was a bit more absent in that second half. First half, I thought he was totally switched on. I thought he did a really good job. But maybe it is time for some fresh meat and fresh pair of legs on the field. Rodrigo Paul there from the end of the box shoots, and out it goes. They do have to be very careful because they need to be very careful with those counter-attacks from Atletico Madrid. Valiant playing with Raillo now, who opens up to the left for Chiquinho. Chiquinho, who is defeated by Pablo Barrios there. Over to the ball now. Long ball to Riquelme. Riquelme saves it and stays in possession. Passes over to Pablo Barrios. Rodrigo de Paul for Reinildo there. Atletico Madrid getting a touch on the ball. Short pass to Pablo Barrios. And that is now a short pass for Atletico Madrid. They're leaving way too much space right now for those midfielders. Passing back to Jimenez over to Reinildo. I just think that Danny Rodriguez was going to come on because he is definitely the fittest player right now. But he is warming up, in fact, with Omar Mascarell. Storlot is going to reach that ball there. Rayo recovers the ball pretty easily, though, thankfully. And there's a long ball for Chiquinho there for him to race down the end of the field. But Witzel is there. He was so quick there to defend that. Completely through Chiquinho, of course, there, unfortunately. That wasn't great show of control there, we have to say. Pretty good counter-attack there. And at the moment, it's a back and forth roll of blows getting hit now between the teams. So minute 72 of the match, and the scoreboard is still 1-0. So Manu Morlanes is currently intercepting every single one of those Atletico Madrid shots. I think maybe we've definitely missed those central shots from Mojica. He usually gets 3, 4, 5 of those really impressive shots. Even though he's been a key player and he's been very impressive in everything he's done, he hasn't had those lovely central shots that we've become accustomed to. So we're going to see Antonio Sanchez coming on for Mallorca pretty soon. And I think it's quite important for us to shake things up slightly. I think that goal did a lot of damage to the team. The ball inside the box there. Luckily, Rayo wasn't able to get there, but neither was Bilal Marishi, and they were absolutely racing for that ball there. But Jan Oblak managed to save the ball, take it into his possession, and put it back into play. So a real unbalancer there, something that really can throw a team off course. So Chiquinho there now. A foul on Chiquinho. Foul halfway down the field. Antonio Sanchez, we can imagine, will be on that right wing today. And Danny Rodriguez will be taking Robert Navarro's place. Inside the goal scoring area there. Abdon Prats tried to go for a shot, but he was way too surrounded. It looked like Antonio Sanchez was going to put it back in play. But it's Morlanes who puts the ball back into play now. Jan Oblak, plenty of time to get there. Atletico Madrid starts racing down the field. Pablo Barros is not too sure. Ball as well. Chiquinho recovers. A foul on Rodrigo de Paul. Defense foul there for Atletico Madrid. Both coaches there, arms folded or arms on their hips, really tense, of course. Exchange of opinions there from some of the technical staff from Mallorca just a couple of moments ago. Mallorca lacking this offensive clarity at the moment. Reinildo passes over to Riquelme. Rodrigo de Paul now. And the ball reaches Koke's feet. Koke passes backwards to Jan Oblak. A long ball from Vincel. Atletico Madrid searching for Sorloth. There's clearly offside there. The game has calmed right down. We definitely need to shake this up now. I think we need to step it up a gear because this is exactly what Atletico Madrid wants. This is the kind of thing that will lift up the game and the team. Antonio Sanchez is there.
Veíamos esa última acción, el centro, si no me fallan las cuentas de Antonio Sánchez, que la jugaba y estaba Atón ahí preparado para cazarla. Y en el golpeo de Atón se termina haciendo daño Jiménez.
Esto no se va a levantar. Ahora lo que quieren, claro,
todo lo que quieren
alargarse, sí.
Todo lo que quieran rascar, lo van a terminar rascando. Ya lo ha puesto en juego Mitchell.
Everything they wanted to scrape out of that, they did in the end. Rodrigo de Paul there. Danny Rodriguez beating Sorloth in that race down the field. I think Sorloth actually might be taller than Vidat Marishi, which is quite the achievement. He looks bigger from where I'm sitting. Mojica there cutting off the Atletico Madrid player. Pass over to Chiquinho. Rayo over to Mojica, back over to Samuel Costa. Rayo kind of doing the striker's work at the moment. Over to Martin Valiant and passing over to Samuel Costa. Over to Jimenez. This is what we were asking for. Samuel Costa from the edge of the box. The danger is still there inside the goal scoring area. Who is the ball going to fall to now? It looks like Chiquinho had a touch on that, but it goes into Jan Oblak's hands. Rodrigo de Paul now over to Reinildo. Moves away from his defender. Long ball now looking for Correa. I think when Mallorca was playing last year with three central defenders, what fans didn't want was exactly that, because it depends on the quality of them. It's those kind of players that can really just fix any situation on the field. So you don't sometimes need that central defender, and you can better make the most of the use of that player in a different position. Danny Rodriguez there. That's a foul for him because he really raced down that field. One for Reinildo as well. Molina there on the wings. Header subtly from Mojica over to Dominic Grave. Over to Raillo halfway down the field. Mojica over to the left-hand side, back over to Chiquinho, over to Samuel Costa now, over to Danny Rodriguez. Back over to Martin Valiant. Long ball there for Abdon. Tries to shoot. Abdon tries to do it. The rebound falls to Abdon Bratz there, and that was his perfect opportunity. But Wiesel's position there was better equipped for this particular moment. And that is a huge shame there that he couldn't get there quite at the time. And Gallagher is now on for Atletico Madrid. Gallagher, great English player that has fallen into Atletico Madrid's squad. Back to the box now. A really far away pass there from Luna. Mojica beats his marker there. Ends up going out. Samuel Costa over to Martin Valiant. Antonio Sanchez receives the ball there over to Luna now. Sorloth there in defense. Danny Rodriguez receives the ball, and that seemed more like a central pass than a shot. But I think there was a bit of a misunderstanding there between the players. Pablo Barrios in possession now, changing sides. Over to Molina, to Witzel. The rebound falls to Mojica, and pressure from Correa there. Pressure over to Chiquinho, over to Samuel Costa. Martin Valiant now. We are in minute 87 now. Julian Alvarez goal. And it's Samuel now, halfway down the field. The Colombian there, over to the Portuguese player. Over to Martin Valiant now. Over to Daniel Luna. Antonio Sanchez over to Daniel Luna. Luna stuck to the sidelines there. And the referee decides that that ball is for Atletico Madrid. I thought that was for us to keep. Cholo Simeone on his feet. So Iago Barrasate, and it's Gallagher now. wanted to move away from Mallorca's defence there, couldn't quite manage that. And that is a throw in. Now he takes it quickly and
Quería sacar tan rápido y meter balón en el juego, pues
Se la ha jugado Dani Rodríguez. Todo esto pasando en zona defensiva, lejos del portero.
Danny Rodriguez there taking a risk. All of this happening pretty close to Jan Oblak's goal. Really good actions by Abdon Prats as well, Daniel Luna and Koke. And that's a throw in for Mallorca. Minute 88 of the match, 89 now. Martin Valiant, still lots of support from the fans. Samuel Costa now opening up. Antonio Ray, you're opening up. Antonio now over to the right hand side. Over to Martin Valiant. Back over to Samuel Costa. Gallagher slams the ball up the field.
Poniendo el balón a la izquierda para Gallagher. La presión del Mallorca que sigue. Vamos a ver cuánto tiempo añadido va a añadir.
Let's see how much extra time is added. I think it's going to be about 5 minutes, where it's going to be 4. There we go. We've got the confirmation. Pablo Barrios over to Witzel. Moves away from Chiquinho, moves away from De Paul.
Vamos a ver por qué está terminado, ¿eh?
queda 5 minutos más.
Quedan 4 minutitos más.
4 minutos, perdón.
Mojica, atención, sigue Mojica con el balón, lo termina cortando Molina. Samu Costa, cambiando juego a la derecha, el balón le cae dentro del área. ¿Quién? En la frontal, al final, ¿quién se la va a quedar? No se la queda nadie.
Who is going to keep the ball now? Correa has the ball again over to the left-hand side.
Peinando, le da Muriqui, pero está emparejado con Witzel. Recupera el Atlético de Madrid. Ahora el balón que va de camiseta en camiseta. Antonio Sánchez cortando otra vez el Atlético de Madrid, enviando el balón a saque de banda. Sigue la tensión. A un gol, el Mallorca podría empatar. El centro de Dani Rodríguez en la frontal del área. ¿Quién se la va a quedar? Witzel revienta el balón. Chiquiño que salta. Se la queda Koke. Se la queda ahora también Sorlot. Sorlot combinando por Rodrigo de Paul. Rodrigo de Paul que se mata.
Sorloth playing with Rodrigo de Paul. A foul on Rodrigo de Paul now. Nobody quite agrees with that.
Después de gol te dejaba el balón de juega, pero en área muy fuerte.
Es que el Atlético de Madrid defiende con todo el mundo dentro del área. Es muy complicado.
Toda la vida. Sobre todo en la era de Simeone.
Ahora vemos el empujón de Correa. Eso tiene que ser tarjeta amarilla, efectivamente.
We're seeing that shove there from Correa.
Porque el empujón de Correa sobre Chiquiño no sirve para nada. Estamos ya en el 93, es el último minuto, efectivamente. Es Gallagher protegiendo el cuero.
And it's Gallagher protecting the ball right now. Mallorca recovering now. Dani Rodriguez opening up to the left-hand side with Mojica. Goes through the centre. Rebound. There's nobody's there. And that's going to be the last action of the match. It's a corner now. Everybody's on their feet. And Dominic Grave moves over and down the field to help the rest of the team.
Atención porque de los 7 goles recibidos el Atlético de Madrid, solo 6 han sido dentro del área. Vamos a ver si el Mallorca puede aprovechar el córner sobrevolando. No llega nadie, el balón que le cae en la corona del área.
Nobody seems to find that ball there with that corner. Antonio Sanchez.
Acaba pitando, no lo sabemos.
No sé, a ver si quizás está revisando algo. Si no, final del partido.
Está esperando, está revisando.
Where they're just revising to see if everything has gone according to rules. And if it has, then we're pretty sure that that's going to be a whistle now. And there goes the final whistle. That's the end of the match.
Es lo que hemos dicho, ¿no? Bueno, primero final del partido, como ya podéis ver, 0-1 en el marcador. El gol de Julián Álvarez al pase de Giuliano Simeone, que, bueno, ha sido el jugador pues que tal vez más daño ha hecho por esa bandera derecha.
Sí, lo que te dije, no, lo que Mallorca no tiene que permitir que corran estos 3 jugadores. Y así llegó el gol. ¿Te acuerdas al principio lo que te decía? Y sobre todo Giuliano, que el otro día también metió gol arrancando de atrás, rompiendo la defensa y metió un golazo. Y hoy también pasó. Me parece que es un jugador muy rápido.
Que nadie se mueva porque vamos a tener protagonistas en un rato.
So nobody go anywhere. We will be talking to some of the most important players very soon.
Ahora el Atlético de Madrid aplaudiendo a los aficionados que se han desplazado hasta aquí y también el Mallorca, situado en zona de medios, aplaudiendo a los suyos. El primero en marcharse ha sido Mojica, enfadado después de esta dolorosa derrota porque, bueno, la verdad es que es la segunda derrota consecutiva del Mallorca esta temporada.
So second consecutive defeat for the team this season. Everybody now, all of the fans making their way out of the stadium. I think when you're up against a team that is so impressive and so strong, every single mistake that you make is a punishment.
Hoy, sí, efectivamente, sigue octavo con 18 puntos. Bueno, está a 2 del sexto, que es el Betis, está con 20 puntos.
Sí, estamos en la parte de arriba. Lo importante es que
So Betis at the moment are tying with us on 20 points now. I mean, we are still pretty well positioned. We're still on a good amount of points. We're now going to hear from Martin Valiant. So hello, Martin. Good afternoon to you. I think it was a really balanced match. Maybe we did deserve a little bit more. I mean, as a Champions League team, you get punished for any tiny mistakes. So what was the team missing today? I think against a team like theirs, I mean, a 5-4-1 formation in defense. Maybe we needed a little bit more intensity. But I think it was like a detail that made us lose that goal. Well, thank you very much, Martin, and all the best for the next one. So Atletico Madrid managed to take the match and steal the match with very little effort, really.
Gente con muchísima calidad. Y yo, en toda la parte del campo, Mallorca estaba superior en defensa, pero yo creo que en ataque nos faltaba un poco más. Yo esperaba más un poco de
I think on attack they did need a little bit more.
no porque jugaron mal, porque a lo mejor estaban marcados bien, pero nos faltaba rematar más. En todo aspectos, otros aspectos, Mallorca era muy superior a Atlético.
I think on other aspects that Mallorca were much better than Atletico Madrid. I think it was a really, really tough one there today. I think it was very difficult to defend in a box like that as well against players like on Atletico Madrid. We're going to go and hear from who we are with now. We're with Samuel Costa now. So a really balanced match, right? Yeah, the goal came so quickly. It's all about going ahead, moving forward. Atletico Madrid hadn't really seemed to concede anything at all, really. Yeah, I think we had more possession, we had more options. It was just really balanced, but they won. So congratulations, and we'll keep fighting. I think they had like 2 rebounds. They made the most of one, and that's how the match ended.
Estaba con Mafeo, que también muy rápido y esto. Madre mía.
vemos que le gana, o sea, el pase de Jan Oblak larguísimo es muy bueno, le gana a Juliano Simeone y Pablo Maffeo va a derribar a Juliano Simeone, la tarjeta amarilla era, pero aguanta bien Juliano y luego pues detrás viene Julián Álvarez que pues bueno, a bocajarro solo delante de portería no falla.
Esto es lo que te decía al principio, hay que tener cuidado con estas carreras, porque Juliano cuando le das balón en los pies no es tan hábil, pero si le dejas espacio para correr, mira.
Lo hemos comentado también al principio, en la previa, que era un equipo, hablábamos de los equipos grandes, ¿no? Atlético de Madrid, Barcelona, Real Madrid, que estos equipos, con muy poco que hacen, prácticamente con nada, por un destino
It is one of those teams that, you know, no, regardless of what happens, they always find the ability and the ease to edge into it and to manage to. Because at the end of the day, it's the kind of team where they're so high quality that with very, very little, they could just then do something, make a slight move, and steal the match.
Ahora que dices, mientras esperamos datos, ahora dices que dices sobre datos, mira, lo vamos a repasar. En tema de posesión, el Mallorca ha ganado 53% de posesión para el Mallorca, 47% para el Atlético de Madrid. Luego, en tiros, 10 tiros totales del Mallorca, ¿vale? De los 10 tiros del Mallorca, 5 se han marchado fuera.
So 10 shots from Mallorca, 5 went out, 5 were on target.
A portería, y de las 6 veces, 4 se han marchado fuera y solo 2 han ido a la portería. Exacto, la otra ha sido la de Riquelme, que ha hecho el mano a mano con Dominic Green, que se la ha terminado parando. Y luego, pases, construcción de pases, ojo a los construcción de pases, porque el Mallorca ha construido, ha dado 528 pases.
So passes, 528 for Mallorca, only 478 for Atletico Madrid.
Éramos superiores de todo el partido menos el resultado, pero bueno.
Con una cosa está ganando el Atlético de Madrid. A ver, y en faltas.
So there was just one thing that Atletico were ahead for us. Fouls, 10 for Mallorca, 16 for Atletico Madrid.
Y bueno, 3 tarjetas amarillas para el Atlético de Madrid y una para el Mallorca. Insisto, yo creo que ¿crees que la tarjeta amarilla?
Cholo siempre, antes de coger el equipo, pues tú sabes que siempre todos los duelos son al límite. Así que
¿Tú crees?
siempre sus equipos tienen muchas tarjetas amarillas.
Bueno,
pero mira, lo que te quiero comentar, yo creo que árbitro en algunas sí, no ha ayudado a Atlético, no puedo decir, pero en algunas cosas donde podía pitar en favor de Mallorca, pues pitó a favor de Atlético de Madrid. Allí también allí esto también te puede sí, condicionar para que no ganes el partido esto. Por lo que yo vi.
Sobre lo que tú ahora estabas comentando, sobre esto de acciones, pues al final el árbitro juega, ¿no? Se le ha perdonado la segunda tarjeta amarilla
Eso también.
¿Crees que esto hubiera podido cambiar el partido?
Claro que sí.
Para ti lo era tarjeta amarilla.
Yo creo que sí. Era segunda.
I think if that yellow card had been given in the second half, that could have definitely changed the course of the match. But I think that is the way it works against these big teams.
Bueno, hoy ha salido con Dominic Green en la portería, en el lateral derecho Pablo Maffeo, en el lateral izquierdo Mojica, en la defensa central Raillo y Martín Valken, en el centro del campo Sergi Darré, Morán, Chamo Costa y Robert Navarro, y arriba Vedat Murikic y Kyle Larin. Este 11 titular, tú ahora mismo cuando has visto el partido, ¿lo hubieras ido apostando para ponerlo?
Yo sí, pero bueno, hay que decir también que Dani también está en un gran momento. Pero no puede jugar con 12, ¿no?
Claro,
pero
ojalá.
También, la verdad que lo que estábamos hablando, la verdad que tenemos dos delanteros en un gran nivel, uno de los mejores, cualquiera de ellos pueden jugar en cualquier otro equipo de
I think we do have fantastic strikers and they could definitely be playing in any other first division team. I would put my money on this team.
Sí, pero moviendo también lo que te dije, Dani está a lo mejor no juega cuando tiene, no sé cuánto tiene, 35, 36 años, a lo mejor no jugar todos los partidos, pero de 4 tiene que ser por lo menos 3 partidos titulares.
Tú mismo lo has dicho, en la segunda parte hemos visto a un Larin más liberado, un Larin que bajaba a recibir en zona de medios, que conducía más. ¿Te ha gustado más el papel de Larin en la segunda parte que en la primera?
Es que no acaba de arrancar. Es que a lo mejor lo ves un partido ¿te acuerdas contra Valladolid? Hizo un partidazo contra Leganés, un superdazo y piensas, madre mía, esto va a ser su año. Otra vez es que no lo había visto. Primera parte estaba como frío, segunda parte, último 10 minutos antes de ser sustituido, empezó algo, pero yo creo en él, yo creo en él, yo creo que nos puede dar muchísimo.
Nos ha dado muchos motivos en estos partidos.
Sí.
O sea, yo creo que este arranque liguero esta temporada, yo creo que estamos viendo un Larín totalmente diferente. Lo hablábamos, lo hemos hablado muchas veces, yo creo que no hace falta tampoco. Pero claro, yo creo que él ahora en la adaptación ya se siente mucho más cómodo con sus compañeros.
I do think now Kyle Larin is feeling much more supported with his teammates, and I think that Vedat Marici did an interview, and he said that he feels more comfortable having Larin with him than when he's on his own.
Digamos, la imagen o lo que querían desde el principio de temporada o desde cuando ficharon a Larín año pasado. Pero a veces no funciona. Hoy, por ejemplo, en mi gusto no ha funcionado. Yo pensaba que sí que podría funcionar, pero no de todo. Porque también, por otro lado, tenemos, han tenido dos centrales o luego entró Bissell y centrales de gran nivel, ¿eh?
Bueno,
estos no son de Rayo Vallecano y de la B.
Molina, Jiménez, Lenglet, Reinildo, bueno.
I think having Lenglet, Reinildo, Molina, Jimenez, they are such strong players, and also Atletico Madrid defended with a really low block and a lot of players there. I think it must have been very difficult.
Se regalan el balón, el Atlético de Madrid se da el balón, ellos se meten atrás cuando ya el resultado es favorable a ellos.
Claro, y es complicado. Es que es muy difícil al Cholo cuando se pone por delante, pues es difícil luego marcarle.
Samu Costa ha dicho que hoy era un partido muy táctico, que se ha gestionado por detalles. Prácticamente es verdad que el gol ha sido un detalle aislado. Con este once inicial que ahora hemos repasado y tú has dicho que te ha gustado, ¿qué crees que buscaba hoy Yago Arrasate a la hora de enfrentarse con Cholo Simeone?
No, él sabe que cuando tiene los dos delanteros, cuando tiene Hilarín y esto, sabe que cuando llegan los centros, pues en área son muy fuertes. Es que muy pocas defensas nos puede defender cuando llega un centro por la banda, por una, por otra banda, porque los dos son muy buenos rematadores. Entonces yo lo que pensaba, él sabe que...
Bueno, perdón, es que en la primera parte, perdón que te interrumpa, Joan, Larín ha tenido una de cabeza que Jan Oblak ha tenido que poner el guante, porque él sabe, cuando llega balón...
Jan Oblak definitely had to keep an eye out for everything that was happening on the field.
Sacó un equipo atacante, no quería defender y salir de ataque, no. Y la verdad que chapú con la táctica que puso. La verdad que una táctica diferente de año pasado, digamos la táctica muy ofensiva.
El Atlético de Madrid ha ganado por un gol, prácticamente.
Atletico Madrid today won by 1 goal. What match would you say that Atletico Madrid did today to get those 3 points in Somos? Because for me, I didn't feel like they did anything that deserved that win. I think Cholo Simeone knows that this is a really tough stadium, especially for them. They've come off a LaLiga match, and I think that he definitely planned the match very well.
A lo mejor el partido no iría en la misma dirección si seguía el partido 0-0 y entra estos cuatro, a lo mejor veríamos un partido diferente. A lo mejor Atlético atacaba, iba a ir por partido, pero en general Mallorca tiene que estar contento con el partido que ha hecho.
El año pasado, el Atlético de Madrid nos ganó,
timing ya te determina el partido. ¿A qué se debe esto? Porque hoy hemos visto un equipo que, bueno, los dos equipos han salido, había espacio incluso a veces para correr.
Pero Atlético no ha venido aquí, esto no es mejor versión de Atlético de Madrid, ¿no? Porque hace 3,
¿Te
4
parece que este año estamos viendo una mejor versión del Atlético de Madrid que el año pasado? Porque en Champions
yo creo que sí, pero lo de hoy no. Lo de hoy no. Hoy es un
I
partido.
don't think we're seeing a better Atletico Madrid than last year, to be honest. I don't think that we saw an Atletico Madrid that were in their best level.
De jugar Liga Campeones y ellos
They're also coming out of playing a a Champions League match,
es
and
tremendo.
they came here today to win 3 points. I don't know how they managed to do that, but they did.
Pues mira, se aleja de Real y de Barcelona, porque al final el objetivo de Atlético es luchar por la liga.
Te quería preguntar, a mí me da la sensación que el Mallorca, o sea, está demostrando muchísimo
I get the feeling that Mallorca are demonstrating a lot in every match that they've
la
played
sensación
so
de que
far.
ante equipos grandes está demostrando que le juega de tú a tú, o sea, que no les tiene miedo.
But
Ellos
they're definitely demonstrating that they are so able to race one on one as well.
vino aquí y pudimos empatar el partido, pero vimos a un Real Madrid pues que prácticamente no jugó a nada. Es verdad que tal vez el Real Madrid esta temporada pues no está teniendo a cuajar, pero le
Maybe
jugó
Real
de tú
Madrid
a
this season are,
Madrid, no, pero le jugó de tú a tú. Hoy
we
hemos
didn't
visto
know how we were going to find Real
el
Madrid when we
partido
played them in the first match of the season.
el Villarreal y perdimos por prácticamente un gol en el último
Que vino
minuto.
la Real Sociedad también, que
Y le
ganamos,
ganamos.
que también un gran equipo. No, yo creo que Mallorca la verdad que primero lo que hablábamos antes, Mallorca se convirtió en un gran club y además invierte mucho en los jugadores. Pablo está haciendo un gran cosa, también un esfuerzo grande, porque fichas a Larín, pagas un dinero, Muriqui, Darder, muy pocos equipos pueden hacer un esfuerzo económico, ¿no? De este tipo. Y Mallorca tiene un equipazo, pienso yo. Mira, no sé lo que piensan los demás, pero
I do, as I say, I think that Mallorca do have a fantastic team at the moment.
15, 16 jugadores en gran nivel, gran nivel. Hace tiempo que Mallorca no tenía
Mallorca hadn't had a squad like this for a long time.
tanta nivel. Y yo la verdad que espero mucho de este año de Mallorca. No es solo la permanencia, vale. Sí, para el club es muy importante la permanencia, pero yo veo a Mallorca por lo que tiene y por lo que veo en el campo. Porque veo el campo, nadie era superior de Mallorca. Años anteriores sí juega un partido bueno, luego 3 partidos malos, pero este año pero Mallorca puede ganar a donde si va a Vitoria, podía ganar a Leganés, a esto. Antes no era este caso.
Sí, son partidos, por ejemplo, ante el Alavés se pierde por un pequeño detalle. Es verdad que a lo mejor el Mallorca no dio su mejor imagen, pero jugó un gran
No, no
partido.
puede jugar siempre,
Exacto, no puede
bien,
siempre.
pero sí que podía ganar partido.
Sí.
Y no se merecía perder el partido.
Efectivamente.
Y hoy no se merecía perder el
Esos son que los partidos que ha perdido no te vas con la sensación de decir, bueno, es que hoy lo mereció.
Claro.
Ante el Villarreal, ante los Asuna. Es verdad que el Mallorca no jugó su mejor partido.
It is true that Mallorca did not play their best match against Osasuna, for example, but against Pamplona, they demonstrated in Pamplona how strong they are at the moment.
En Pamplona, el Mallorca perdió, si no me equivoco, por un gol, 1-0.
Sí, 1-0. Tampoco esto, pero te digo, en todos los partidos, menos a Pamplona, en mi gusto, lo demás era superior casi a todos.
Exacto, es que lo que estamos hablando es que
al Español éramos superiores, sí, por mala suerte y tal, pero éramos superiores. En Leganés y Vitoria también, no éramos inferiores que ellos. ¿Qué partido más? No me acuerdo. Aquí casi todos los partidos que hemos disputado aquí, en todos éramos mejores.
Vale,
Pero mira, por otro lado, mira, este año tenemos buenos jugadores. No sé, el año que viene y hay que aprovechar para estar. Yo creo que es oportunidad de estar
arriba. Lo que te quería decir es esto, que en plan, los partidos que tal vez el Mallorca no ha estado tan acertado o no ha estado tan fino, porque, insistimos, yo creo que todas estas 13 jornadas que llevamos, el Mallorca está dando un muy buen nivel en todos los partidos, que incluso a lo mejor no estando al 100%, simplemente se ha perdido por un detalle técnico. El otro día contra el Alavés,
As we say, Mallorca lost this match today on one tiny technical mistake.
el Villarreal te gana 1-2.
Just simply a stroke of bad luck.
Que recuperan aquí en Son pequeños
y hoy también.
en un
And that is just football for you at the end of the day. You know, sometimes some matches you play them worse and they will give you your result that you're looking for, and other ones you can do a fantastic match and you still won't manage to get the result that you're looking for.
Ilusiona este equipo sobre todo es importante para que la gente esté contenta, ¿no? Porque para tener este equipo y este tipo, que eres uno de para estar entre primeros 8, esto se ha luchado muchos años, no he llegado de año pasado, porque esta gente de hace 7 8 años. Pero lo que te he comentado, yo personalmente pienso que este año tengo mucha fe que Mallorca puede,
I do think personally that I have faith in that this year
digamos,
Mallorca will be in Europa League positions.
Tal vez el año pasado no pasaba para poder comparar. Y es que la temporada pasada los partidos no se terminaban en área rival, ¿no? Y hoy perdiendo 0-1 y el otro día también ante el Deportivo Alavés. Y entonces terminas atacando. Hoy hemos tenido la última que ha sido un córner. E incluso, no solamente el córner, que a raíz del gol, es verdad que el equipo, pues el gol le ha quitado, pero luego se ha venido arriba y ha seguido atacando y ha seguido insistiendo. Es algo muy bueno de este equipo que creo que hay que valorar.
yo daría más minutos a Don Prat porque mira, hoy grabamos
I would also give more minutes to Abdul Pratt because I think that today he was quite unlucky too.
5 minutos también, claro, le veo, hoy salió con muchísimas ganas.
Today he came on really, really eager to make a bit of a difference. Of the starters today and all of the players, in fact, who would be your takeaway player?
No diría, yo creo que como equipo éramos hoy no se
I think as a team, as a whole team today, I wouldn't like highlight anybody because I think they all worked well together.
sí, muy bien, muy bien, muy bien.
I thought Manu Morlanes was fantastic today.
Recuperación,
I
pero
was really impressed with him.
a lo mejor individualmente esperaban más. Si hubiera
Maybe individually, I was expecting a bit more from him.
cada de jugador, si hubiera dado un poco más, a lo mejor ganó, pero como equipo funcionaba muy bien.
Maybe I think if he gave something slightly more, we might have been able to run away with the victory.
Si me preguntas dos jugadores, pues Raillo y Valiente.
En la rueda de prensa previa al partido de hoy, a Yagoba le preguntaban, ¿no?, que Dominic Gray está convocado con la selección. Es positivo que los jugadores, porque creo que el Mallorca tiene hasta 6 jugadores que se marcan con
I do think that Mallorca at the moment have up to 6 players that would be national squad contenders. Damian, can you hear us? No, he can't hear us right now.
porque es bueno que los jugadores se vayan con la selección porque ellos ganan en confianza, la ilusión de los jugadores también en ir con la selección, pero a la hora del club tienes que estar muy pendiente de si se lesionan, de si vienen cansados o no. Tú como jugador, le pregunto a Damián, ya estamos con Yagoba, ¿eh? Vale, estamos con
So
Arrasate.
yes, we are with Yago Arrasate now, so we're going to listen to that.
¿Qué lectura haces del partido de hoy?
Bueno, mucha rabia, ¿no? Sobre todo viendo
Well, I say it's a really frustrating match today.
qué partido hemos hecho, cómo hemos encajado ese gol, pues con rabia, ¿no? Porque creo que podemos haber defendido mejor esa acción y sobre todo hay una acción también yo creo que decanta un poco el devenir del partido, que es esa segunda amarilla al inglés, que ahí tampoco hemos tenido fortuna.
Que es que el equipo americano
I don't think we were very lucky in that actually led either.
Al Mallorca, pero esto se trata de no cometer
I
errores.
don't think we were worse than Mallorca at all.
Ellos han aprovechado ese error, nosotros hemos tenido la opción también en un error de ellos.
They really take advantage of that opportunity, and it wasn't meant to be today, I guess.
Con orden porque no queríamos que ellos tuviesen transición.
I think we attacked with a lot of order, and that was really positive for us. But when you make such a mistake like that, it's quite normal that the other team can take advantage of it. So
la última hora, muchos días, ¿no?, de parón para descansar y corregir lo que haga falta, ¿no?
Sí, nos vamos fastidiando.
now, obviously, for the next match, it's just the aim is to fix whatever we can, right? That's exactly right. We've now got to fix and correct anything that we can.
Yago, muchas gracias y ánimo.
I'm going to try and just rack up as many points as we can now.
Ahí están las palabras de Yago Arrasate. Damián, ¿me escuchas? Sí, alto y claro. Bueno, creo que aquí terminamos tu conexión contigo, ¿no? Sí.
So I think that is it from you today. Yes, it is. I have no more people to talk to today. which is ending with those words from Yagoba Arrasate there, which we're going to actually pack up now. So as Yagoba said, he was talking about the yellow card there. He said it wasn't meant to be.
Nosotros también no estábamos, digamos, dejando espacio para el contraataque y es más fácil cuando coge el portero el balón, pues más fácil para correr que defender, digamos, atacar que defender. Y por otro lado, mala suerte que llega al balón Juliano, que más rápido me parece que del Atlético de Madrid la ha aguantado, pero muy bien. Pero mira, hay que olvidar este partido. Mallorca está bien, esto es lo que quiero transmitir, lo que yo quiero transmitir, que Mallorca está bien, que llegará, nos toca Las Palmas, que también es difícil, que está en un buen momento, pero yo estoy seguro que vamos a salir de... No salir de esta, no es nada mal, pero claro, que tener dos derrotas y un empate, también hemos ganado de 5 partidos 4, también llegará, tenemos acumulado bastante puntos para estar tranquilos y jugar tranquilos.
I think obviously it is all about accumulating as many points as we can because we are going to need them desperately at the end of the season. So we are, of course, waiting for Yago at this press conference, but I think we're going to let you go now and say thank you to you for being here today. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. So next up is Las Palmas. That's where we have to try and make a difference and take advantage of the fact that Las Palmas are not going through their best moment of the season. And yes, that is exactly right. So there's Johan Stankovic, but we also cannot become complacent whatsoever. So Johan Stankovic we're letting him go home now, and we are waiting for Yagoba Arrasate to be on the field. That we are on the for his press conference that we hope arrives very, very soon. After, of course, this pretty painful defeat today against Atlético Madrid. I think we're going to go to a very quick ad break, and we'll be back very, very soon because Yagoba Arrasate is due any second now.
Pues ya está, rapidísimo. Vamos con Yago Barrasate que está en rueda de prensa.
No sé si también valora o considera que es un error defensivo el gol de la contra, pero empezando por lo del inglés.
Sí, es una tarjeta clarísima.
Very quick break there because we already have Yagoba Arrasate there. Yes, that was a very clear yellow card. We had the yellow card for it, but that was a really clear foul from Linglet. And those 2 minutes, I think, then lost us then for the rest of it.
Y luego creo que la vigilancia era buena, estaban Mojica y Mafeo contra Juliano, pero creo que ahí Mafeo podía llegar al balón y se ha confiado, ha ido al cuerpeo y ha perdido el cuerpeo, ha medido mal y nos han hecho el gol y eso es lo que ha cambiado un poco el devenir del partido porque creo que hasta entonces creo que no nos habían tirado a puerta.
Alberto. Hola, mister, ¿qué tal? Buenas tardes, aquí Alberto Hernando, Cadena SER. Al margen de esas dos acciones, quería una valoración un poco general del partido. Si sientes que el solo...
Just your general assessment of the match there. So obviously it was a tactical victory today, I guess, for Atlético Madrid.
Pienso que para que no centrésemos tanto a nosotros y que hubiese menos centro y poder tener menos situaciones de área, y la idea era atacar con orden, ¿no? Porque lo peligroso era exponerte un poco, perder y que ese balón y que ellos tuviesen transiciones. Y creo que eso
I
lo
think
hemos
obviously the
conseguido.
fact that they were transitioning, I think we did that really well.
Estar equilibrados, y si
We were
perdemos
doing a
ese
good job with
balón,
everything.
todo eso lo hemos hecho bien hasta
And
ahora.
that is why there were no dangerous experiences for us in this match. I think we did really well right up to the corner, and then after the corner, then that was it. Turned the match around, and it became a different story.
No, Pascu primero, luego Miki.
Aquí Yagoba, Pascual Pivot, última hora. Al hilo de lo que decías de los últimos minutos, ¿crees que al equipo, bueno, o te preocupa que al equipo le falte esa profundidad para llegar a la línea de fondo y poder poner esos centros que, con los delanteros que tiene el Mallorca, yo creo que serían un poquito más peligrosos? Y después, si crees que al equipo le ha faltado tener un poco de calma después del 0-1 y madurar un poco mejor las jugadas.
Bueno, es difícil llegar a la línea de fondo cuando te defienden con una línea de 6, ¿no? Es verdad que los centros igual tenían que ser más de 3/4, como esa...
Fondo y poder poner esos centros que, con los delanteros que tiene el Mallorca, yo creo que serían un poquito más peligrosos. Y después...
So I think the Mallorca striker today could have been a bit more dangerous. And do you think that they needed to calm down after that first goal?
de fondo cuando te defienden con una línea de 6, ¿no? Es verdad que los centros igual tenían que ser más de 3/4, como esa que ha sacado Darder y ha rematado Larin. Creo que era esa la idea un poco, ¿no? Con los laterales, fijar un poco a sus extremos y ocupar esos carriles un poco interiores con Robert y con Sergi. Y después del 0-1, cuando recibes el 0-1 de esa manera, pues es difícil, ¿no? Mantener un orden, digamos, que tengas paciencia. Bueno, ahí hemos tirado de corazón, y a veces cuando estás cansado también y con el resultado en contra, pues no se toman las mejores decisiones. Miki.
Sí, mister, Miquel Berger para IB3 Radio. Mister, no sé si le preocupa o es anecdótico, aunque haya costado puntos.
So are you worried now about the fact that the last two matches, just speaking broadly, have been nil-nils that have ended in defeats? Well, obviously, it's very annoying, those two defeats. I think we've had a good season so far, and these two defeats are a step backwards. I think the team did a great job today in playing one-on-one. They definitely wanted to win. There were several mistakes, one from us and one from the referee, and that completely changed the match. I think it's very frustrating. It's very annoying. There are days like today where, doing less, you win, like for us, and that just cannot distract us from our journey and from where we're trying to go.
Mister, aquí José Peña, Metres Televisión. Permíteme volver al tema de la tarjeta. No sé si luego el árbitro al acabar el partido o sea,
no, hablamos con el cuarto, y el cuarto me dice que no se había girado. Cuando le gana la posición claramente, es un agarrón continuado. Muchas veces...
Well, I mean, I think that was a very, very clear yellow card. I think that, sometimes it's like, oh, it's not it's so clear, this one. It was look where the action ends. And that's where, if nowhere else, the yellow card should have been given.
No, claro, por eso. Es que no hay ningún factor que pueda hacer pensar que no era tarjeta amarilla. Por eso mi pregunta es, ¿le ha temblado la mano al árbitro por el hecho de que era el Atlético de Madrid? Que venimos de un partido igual aquí que no tembló tanto con el caso de Samu, y hoy parece que...
No, yo ahí no solo analizo la jugada, y para mí es una tarjeta clarísima y se tenían que haber quedado con 10. Nosotros el último partido aquí ya nos quedamos con 10, pero bueno, son árbitros diferentes, yo ahí no voy a entrar. Estoy analizando una jugada que para mí ha sido determinante.
I mean, I'm just analysing here a move that I think determined the whole match. Are you worried about the lack of scoring?
10 goles en contra, creo que está muy bien, y 10 goles a favor, que creo que son pocos. Entonces ahí tenemos que mejorar. Tenemos que mejorar la eficacia y el volumen, pues bueno, depende, ¿no? Si tú ves el partido del Rayo, el inicio del Atleti, incluso el de hoy, pues bueno, pero por ejemplo en Vitoria generamos muy poco y sí que tenemos que seguir insistiendo para que el equipo en ataque genere más y luego ser más eficaces, ¿no? Porque al final, cuanto más eficaces, más puntos vamos a sacar si el equipo sigue manteniendo este nivel defensivo.
¿Alguna pregunta más? Pues si no hay más preguntas, dejamos aquí. Gracias.
Vale, gracias.
And if there's no further questions, we're just going to leave it here for today. So there you go. That was the press conference for Yagoba Agasade. That 1-0 victory to Atletico Madrid, 1-0 defeat for us. So that is it from us today. We now have a rest week so that we can come back with all guns blazing for our match against Las Palmas. Thank you for watching and following the match with us today. We'll see you next time.